reckon even though the weather is a bit testing, we've got two really great sides up the top of the Gippsland Latrobe ladder and two sides of four that are battling for that crucial top three spot. Obviously, you probably want that week's break, don't you, at the business end of the season?
Absolutely.
Or do you?
Yep, 100%.
Yep, fair enough. So there's a lot on offer besides the premiership points. It's the opportunity to get what you need in half a dozen weeks' time, and it's going to be a beauty today, no question.
Certainly is. Of course, it is a mental health round as well in the Gippsland League, and encourage everyone out there to just open up and have that conversation with someone. You're just not quite sure what situation they're going through, so please make sure you open up and have that conversation. There's a couple of sides wearing some different jumpers this afternoon across Gippsland and on the netball court as well.
Exactly right. Perfect intro too for our friend here.
Our very special guest is Nick Lucchino. Very good afternoon to you, Boxer. You're here this afternoon for Carpet Country, and you helped dreams become reality since 1981, as you always do.
Jeez, I can't do this.
Boxer, there's a little button that puts your mic on.
It's only been 8 years and I still can't get it right. No, it's great to be here, Scud, and great to be in the room with Daryl and Paul as I look at you. But no, it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to this one. Conditions are going to be that one little critical factor. Who can actually adapt to it and sustain it as well too, Scud, and both have fantastic sides. So something that we've been waiting for a couple of weeks, and here it is now.
Absolutely. Number one stats man in the business to my right. His name's Paul Carter, and he's here this afternoon for Traralgon Subaru. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Daryl and gents. And if we had any doubt about which end was being favoured by the breeze, basically as the coin hit the ground, Aidan Lindsay pointed to the left of the way we're looking. So is that the town end, would you call it?
The left is Inverloch end.
Inverloch end, okay.
Yep.
He had no hesitation pointing that way, and that's where Wonthaggi will be kicking this afternoon.
So it's interesting to note, and this is just a little bit of a side piece, that good coaches, and this is in all seriousness, look at things like weather conditions and late changes in the afternoon with the ability, can I get 3/4 of wind? Is the rain going to come? Where should we be placed? It's more than just turning up and speaking before a game to your players. And I reckon that the weather's going to play a huge part today.
Massive.
Well, look forward to it. In the middle of the ground for the Power is Mobilia. Sparks, as we know, he's been in blistering form in season 2023. I'd say he'd be leading the Trude Award and Rodder Medal. Oof. At the moment. He is an absolute star of the competition. Aidan Lindsay normally wears the number 15. Today you'll see him in the blue 0. Of course, as we just said, it is for mental health round. The opposition ruckman there for Wonthaggi is Big Ben Willis. He'll start in the number 0 as well. He'll be up against Big Tomahutha in the ruck. While for the Parrots, Luke Bowman's in there. As you'd expect, Kim Drew might have that running role, Boxer, with Sparks. And the other midfielder in there is, of course, the star in Tom Marriott. Box Lucchino's here for Carpet Country. And here's Rob Popplestone to get things underway for the first quarter in round 12.
It's 1v2. Wills went up early, didn't take the ball with him. Some fighting at the bottom of the pack. Nicely done it was by Willis. Got a quick handball out and a kick towards right half forward flank. Bottom of the pack. First man there will be Isaac Chug. Can he bring the ball in? He can't. It's inside their forward 50 of the Power. Nicely done by Maskell, who found his teammate. Is it McCannon on the outer side of the ground?
Yep.
Just outside defensive 50. Along the line he goes. Ball may spend a bit of time out that side of the ground. A big fly it was too by Jack Blair. Went nice and high, got hands to the ball, didn't quite take it. Now all players beaten to the ball, or beaten by the boundary, right in front of that outer side scoreboard, opening minute of the game.
Interesting matchup too. Mobilia's going to Marriott, so I've never seen Mobilia in a tag and roll before. We normally see him forward.
Big strong body though.
Geez, that wind is stronger than we thought.
Ball
going
back
to the left.
And a free kick will go the way of the Parrots. It will go Kim Drew's way. Far side of the ground, just backwards to centre for the Parrot side.
It's probably a 4-goal kick and win now.
It is.
Isn't it?
We started off being 2 and now we're out to 4. So you're on the money, Boxer, as Drew kicks it to half forward. Target there is Ganane. Big spoil over the back on that occasion and neatly done.
I can't control the man upstairs, Scud. The wind has picked up a lot. So it was definitely 2 when I was down there. Now it's definitely a 4.
That's what I'm exactly saying, mate. Yeah. You're always on the ball, mate. Take a compliment when it comes your way.
I didn't realise. I've never had a compliment from you before. I wasn't sure what it was.
The tension continues, as does the game here between Leongatha and Wonthaggi. Nicely done as the Power go forward through Mobilia towards right half forward flank. And look at the wind take hold of that ball.
Wow.
Beats the players and is over the boundary line, just about near the intersection of forward 50 and boundary, outer side of the ground, with Wonthaggi kicking to the left of radio. The Inverloch side, or the Inverloch side. There's no new town.
Next door, is it? Or?
Yeah. The ball will be thrown back in. And for those at the ground, you'll see that ball swing Well, I was going to say left. It's actually gone right. As first man there was Merritt to try to get it in. Leongatha, they're pretty good in defence and they've held that ball in just outside the forward 50 for Wonthaggi.
Love the matchup of Aaron Turton. It's gone to Campbell McGinns as well. McGinns, we know, has been in stellar form at the moment too, so that'll be a great matchup.
Huther tapped it down there. Mobilia couldn't get his hands on it. Willis had his head over the football. Trying to pick it up was Bowman. He did so, but instantly tackled, and the umpire will have no other option but to ball it up. Just a little bit of a delay of starting the game before this game kicked off in the first quarter for Virtue Homes. I think we're actually a couple of minutes early. It's just about to tick over the 2:20 on Saturday afternoon, and these games scheduled to start at 2:20. So a little bit earlier, we've just had a holding the ball decision across half back from that stoppage in the way of Bowman. He looks up as an assess. There's not a great deal on. They are kicking into what we think it to be about a 4-goal breeze. He takes on the man on the mark in Mobilia, kicks it out towards half forward. Ganane's the target. Big spoil over the back there was Thomas. Ground level there was O'Connor. Tried to squeeze a handball towards Bates, then got shoved in the back surely, and the umpire said no. He was over the boundary line. It doesn't matter. You can do what you like over there.
Pretty smart move there by Marriott too. Just held the play up a little bit too. They're just really going to defend against this wind, I believe, before they make a bit of a slingshot at it in the second quarter. But they've got a bit of a tough ask at the moment. That ball's just moved a bit.
Yeah, it has too, and Huther took it out of the ruck contest and got a handball over the top. It only went as far as the opposition player in Jack Hume. Now there's a hot contest on the ball out of side from half back, left half back towards left half forward. The kick came from Turton, taken from Staley. And Staley with those long sleeves at the right half-back flank now for the home side. Looks to go inboard, but Leongatha have sort of got that corridor protected, so goes towards the right half-forward flank. They're standing pretty strong at the moment, Leongatha, under some pretty hot pressure, and the umpire will finally assume some control with the ball up. Right half-forward flank. Opening couple of minutes of this game. In fact, 4 minutes gone, no score at this stage.
Well, thanks to Virtue Homes on this afternoon. A free kick will be paid. The advantage was paid to Harley. He hesitated, stopped, chipped in towards the leading target, McGuinness. Dixon comes out the other direction, then lost the football. Forrester wraps up his opponent. And we've got a stoppage about 40 metres out from goal.
I think they rotate a fair bit, the Wonthaggi forward line. They found that then McGuinness was in the goal square instead of playing high half forward.
So Willis again, and Harley this time, inside 50. Harley shrugs out the tackle and then has a shot on goal. And the first goal this afternoon, it was rushed through by Dixon.
And on the Virtue Homes scoreboard, we've reached the 4 3/4 minute mark for our first score. It's one behind to Wonthaggi.
So Leongatha to bring the ball back in against a pretty hot Wonthaggi press. The player with the ball, Cade Maskell, looks towards the outer side. You can expect the ball to spend a hell of a lot of time out there. Free kick goes away, of West away, taken high.
That'll be the message this afternoon, is play it wide when you're defending out, rather than attack at this side.
Yeah, so West away does what Boxer said he might and keep it over the outer side of the ground. Kept the ball in just by inches.
That's why he's one of the modern day great coaches, Nick Machino.
Yeah, he's been there and done it.
Obviously,
and he's still involved with it.
Looking for a gig next year if any clubs are out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Well and truly done.
No, I think there's still a little bit of fire in the belly.
He's pushing me out of the box already.
Speaking of that, we've got a big game next week. We'll get to that later on. Kick her out in the body. Dozar half forward. Back there is Chug. He's got a couple of Leongatha guys to beat. That 3 or 4 of them, in fact. And the boundary line beats them all. Boundary throw in. 5.5 minutes in. It's a 1-point margin. It's a very windy conditions here in South Gippsland. No rain, though. And those back in the valley, I believe there is a little bit of rain happening.
It's raining.
But no rain here at the moment. Lots of wind favouring Wonthaggi in this first quarter for Virtue Homes. Huther tried to take it out of the ruck, couldn't do so. Head over the football was Lindsay, and Kim Drew, as he does, puts on a strong tackle.
They're playing that spare man too. Jack Hume seems to be playing that fifth on baller at the moment off that wing, just to really clog it up at their stoppages.
Early minutes, but I'm really liking the contest between Willis and Huther as well. On that occasion, Willis got the tap, but again, the heat's, well, it's in the red zone around the ball at the moment, and a lot of room for players to wiggle and get some passages or clean passages of play in order as they dance over a couple of men. Does Kim Drew handball, and just as I said they couldn't, they have. And Jack Hume, long sleeves, Jack Hume comes towards the grandstand side for one of the rare times in the early moments of this first quarter. We've got 3 or 4 players from both sides desperate to get their hands on the ball. No player can get it out, and the player on the bottom was Mitch Hayes, who will eventually give the ball back to the umpire. Grandstand side wing in front of our commentary position here. It's live footy as it is every Saturday afternoon, and guess what? tomorrow afternoon as well.
And Kim Drew got a free kick again over the shoulder. He's won a couple early. Gives a quick handball off to Hume. Hume's right foot kick, half forward to Ganane. Closing quickly as Thomas. A big spoil. But they've said you've just got him over the shoulder there, Jacob. And the free kick will go in the way of Jack Ganane. And it is. They asked for 50, the Leongatha crowd. Target now is there in Garnham. Can't quite mark it. Ground level Heppel. First time we've called him this afternoon. Tried to crash through a couple of tacklers and the umpire said no prior. We'll ball it up. First time we're in Leongatha's forward 50 and we're on the right side for them to kick a goal. It's the grandstand side. Breeze going right to left. Jensen Garnham picks it up off the ground. Then he got dumped in a big tackle and the umpire said let's do it again. Tomahutha with the strong body work.
That was a bit of a strong tackle then too. The second time the umpire hasn't been prepared to call a sling there where it could have been.
Staley tapped it down. Working hard was Bowman, lost the football. Picking that one up was Sparks, and he got dumped in the tackle. There's a sling tackle. He might be in a bit of strife too. Kim Drew absolutely slung him around. The umpire said no free kick. Meanwhile, Forrester drives it back inside forward 50 for the Parrots. Out the back there was Bates and Reed. And now O'Connor fumbled when he wanted to take a clean one. Took on the tackler. Ball bobbles out. Kyle Reed does well. And the boundary line, they'll happy to see those. Sparks gets up. He's in all sorts. Game over for Ryan Sparks, unfortunately. The concussion will be in place, and as I said at the start of the game, he's an absolute star of this Wonthaggi side. This is big news now. He'll be out for the rest of the game. Concussion protocol, no doubt, after a big tackle from Kim Drew. It was a sling tackle. I saw it and I called it. And Sparks won't take any further part in the game.
And he could probably thank himself that the ground's got a bit of giving it, to be honest. On a normal day, it might be in all sorts of bother.
Umpires get this game going while Sparks is coming off. Not the right thing to do. The ball now comes out towards the wing area. Sparks is only just getting off the ground now under assistance from some trainers. Maskell tried to squeeze a handball to Willis and we've got a stoppage. Boxer, what do you see there? Big news.
Yeah, that is massive. That's massive on the part of the game from Wonthaggi. But look, hope he's okay. That's the main thing firstly. And then obviously Wonthaggi got to make up that number now, which is going to be a big ask.
The big thing is that
I just think the umpires
50. What?
While we're going back with the 50, there was a couple of times they didn't call the sling tackle. The third one, they didn't call it either. And obviously we've got a player that's just got hurt now as well. So the umpires need to make sure.
The trouble is once they start the game like that, they have to continue to umpire that way. They've
already called one sling tackle in the middle of the ground. So we've had 4 in a matter of 10 minutes.
And you set the tone.
3.
You set the tone early by stamping them out. We know that it's a hot topic at the moment. And that's what they need to do. They need to make those hard calls nice and early to set the tone of the game. Meanwhile, Borshman's going to have a shot on goal for the Parrots. We haven't had a goal scored yet, and we've travelled 10 minutes, and we still haven't. It hits the upright, and right on 10 minutes into this Virtue Homes first quarter, sees scores all locked up.
All behind, one behind each.
So the ball will be brought back into play, and it's done so nicely done. As was it Starley? No, it wasn't. Brings the ball back in now to Murray anyway, left half-back flank. Thought about playing on. His teammate O'Connor gave him an option. He goes short, and we've said that Wonthaggi might do this. Tricky conditions. Harley. That's Troy Harley with the ball. Still at left half-back flank. Burn it
good
beautifully.
Kick.
Posted a kick, went searching, found some space at the end, but the kick went searching for his teammate in Mobilia, couldn't find him, and now Leongatha defence into attack. They'll do it through right, goes towards the outer side of the ground. They've got some runners, 2-on-1 in the contest, but Wonthaggi standing tall. They're doing it nicely. Jordan Staley's the player. The ball will be held in. The player with the ball at the moment, Isaac Chug.
The kick was perfect then, boys.
Just
Harley.
the wing took it.
No, I think Mobilia just needed an extra yard, and probably the soft ground as well probably held him up a little bit. We're not going to say he's slow, are we?
Probably a bit late now.
He's a bit slow. You're a bit slower than young fella. It was a great kick, but it was soft conditions. Like, it's really hard.
Ball up on the far side. Harley just grabs it out of the ruck, handballs to himself, and then took on the Marriott tackle. At pace coming through was Vanderplyte. Nicely done by the Parrots. Marriott to Bowman. Sweeping forward handball. Just missing the run there on that occasion, but the free kick will be given away from Lockie Wright, and it will go in the way of Blair.
The door's locked here, isn't it?
They're coming up, I tell you. Jack Blair it is. drives it now in the centre of the Wonthaggi Rec Reserve. They go inside forward 50, a big pack. Hutchison has to do some groundwork. Taps it to himself. It's still out in front of him. Nice little gather. Handball across, nicely done to Harley. Harley can lower the eyes to the leading forward. Back with a flight goes Marriott. Put the spoil on. Ball now in dispute. Marriott picks it up neatly and gave a handball back to Maskell, who cleared it out, but it's going to come straight back. Hutchison took the mark, put the accelerator down, and then puts a kick into the pocket and misses everyone. And over for a boundary throw. In wind causing havoc here this afternoon at Wonthaggi. We've travelled 12 minutes. We haven't got a goal scored. It scores locked apiece. 1 point each. That's on your Virtue Homes scoreboard. Be inspired by Virtue Homes.
So 20 metres out from Wonthaggi's goals. And that's desperately what they're after, kicking with what we assume is a multiple goal breeze.
Yep.
We'll give you more at quarter time. Quick kick out of the pack towards goals. Close, but not close enough. The point comes way of McGuinness. So Leongatha to bring this ball back into play again. Wonthaggi set up their zone with all but 2 players in the forward half. The player to bring the ball back in is Cade Maskell.
He's going to go to the far side of the ground. Boxers onto this all afternoon. A modern day coach is Nick Licino. His special comments this afternoon for Carpet Country. Out the back there, it was Schultz. Gave a handball inboard. Try to run through this one. That might be holding the footy. I think it is. And Chug just took on one too many.
The pressure's been good, Leongatha. They're really going man to man, especially defensively as well, forcing that error, not letting them get out wide and use the ball quickly like they like to, Wonthaggi.
Turton went short to Van der Pleyt, who went short again to Kim Drew. They're on the wing. They go short. Inboard this time to Jack Hume. He can turn. He's got some space in front. And he drives it. A little wobbly sort of kick. Dropping the mark back there. It was Knowles. Jack Ganane came through, then lost the football. Thomas got slung to the ground. Head over the football. Blair. It was picked off though by Van der Pleyt to Marriott to Borschmann. On the boot. It's a scrubber. It's going to dribble. It will go along the ground. It gets to 1 metre out. And they'll rush it through the power. Still no score. 13 and a half minutes gone.
Looks like a shoulder as well, keeping on the player that just
coming.
Yep, he's done his left shoulder.
Virtue Homes scoreboard has 2 behinds each on the team. On the scoreboard, coming up to 14-minute mark first quarter.
All right, they go short to Wonthaggi to bring this ball out. On the end of it was Josh Bates, still in his defensive 50. Comes grandstand side of the ground. They've got a couple of runners here. They can run and play if they want to, and that's what they do. Over the top they do. They go to Staley. Staley goes in, ball. The kick needs to be perfect. It's not.
Oh, what
a nice
Blair.
slips like catch. Finds Blair and off they go. The run is on. Schultz goes towards the centre of the ground. Good tackle, holding the ball. And finally Wonthaggi get the free kick. Tom Davey, the player that laid the tackle.
Open forward line if he moves it quick.
And he moves it quick and goes long from centre of the ground to within 30 metres. Wonthaggi's first hands. Nicely done by Huther to keep the ball in. Leongatha have stood strong. Best chance for Wonthaggi to goal. Touched off the boot. Minus score again.
Taking Wonthaggi to 3 behinds 3 points, leading Leongatha 2 behinds 2 points, 15-minute mark, Virtue Homes scoreboard.
Yeah, Borschmann's come off with that shoulder too, guys. Left shoulder. He was in a bit of pain. They brought him straight up into the rooms.
Sam Forrester for Leongatha to bring this back for the Parrots. We'll look to the far side, but he now comes to the near side. So this is ambitious. The kick is going to be turned over. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Against the wind.
Against the wind. Jackson Williams will be the recipient of the free kick.
There's a bit of room to play on right, to his right, and actually make the distance here.
So he's 55 metres out. He gets called to play on and just gets cramped, puts it on its way, right to the goal line. No one can mark it. Big spoil goes to the dangerous spot in the front. Head over the football was Jack Hume. Didn't get the free kick. Tried to play for it a little bit. Wasn't there. A little quick out from Bowman. Looks for touch, but missed it. And he's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
He's covering some ground, Jack Hume. He's found himself in defensive 50 at the moment.
Probably should have got that free kick.
And he should have as well, yeah. A couple of minutes before that, he was running the ball through the middle of the ground, giving a forward 50 entry as well at the other end.
So Josh Bates has this kick. He's only probably, 35 metres out, but he's no chance of even getting this one, I wouldn't have thought, with the breeze.
I disagree. I think he's in the right pocket for it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He'll kick from a metre or two out from goals, and the wind does the work.
All right, so he puts it up. The breeze holds it up.
Yeah,
and it just dropped short.
Just a little bit
no
more
chance of kicking that ever.
No.
Well, he kicked Ben Willis, rushed it through. Not one of those dad jokes again, Boxer.
4 behinds 4 points, Wonthaggi. Leongatha 2 behinds 2 points, 16.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Maskell brings the ball in as he has done on, 4 occasions now, courtesy of those 4 behinds. But the kick taken by the wind and player over the boundary line. Right half forward flank. Wonthaggi kicking to the left of radio, and 4 behinds to Leongatha's 2.
Pop, I'll just quickly go around the grounds. Thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, Gippsland in the AFL. It's the Lions, 8-3-51. They lead the Eagles 2 straight 12.
Okay, not bad.
Well, they only just kicked the goal now, the Eagles, so it wasn't looking good.
Ball on the far side of the ground. Sorry, Pop. Kick around the body there was from Wonthaggi. They get inside forward 50. Running onto this one is Blair. Ducks the shoulder. Runs into a bit of trouble. Gives a handle to Davey. He gets wrapped up by a strong tackle from Maskell. And that's a goal-saving tackle.
It's going to be that old cliche, that game of inches. They've just got to keep getting that ball inside 50, but they've got to make the most of it while it's in 50, because they've had majority of the play inside their 50 at the moment. Paul will give us that stat shortly.
17 minutes into the first quarter. They want something for Virtue Holmes. Hayes squeezed a handball back to Mobilia. He picks it up, handballs back to Chug. Kicks around the body on the left. This could be the first no. He's kept it skinny as well. They're pressing, but they need some reward now, Paul.
It's a 3-point lead to Wonthaggi, 5 points to Leongatha's 2, and Boxer, it's 9 inside 50s to 5 at the moment.
Okay, so a little bit closer than what I would have thought, to be honest, as well. It's Maskell to bring this ball back in. One of the rare times he looks grandstand side.
He's got to go the other way.
He won't come this way.
Goes towards the outer side, as you'd expect him, the defensive side of the ground today. Willis, big leap from behind, and I tell you what, they've got some numbers here, the Parrots, and Marriott's one of those numbers. He just needs to kick to space, and that's what he does. Can he find his teammate running onto the end of it? He can. Lockie Wright will get first chance, but they're starting to close him down. Taken high, surely.
Yep.
And obviously high. Pretty sloppy, really. The hit from Reed was high, and now Leongatha.
Now, if anyone was in a really bad pocket to be in this afternoon, this is the pocket.
You're right.
So,
well done, Nick.
Wow. Did he just say I was right?
Twice I've given you compliments. Nick Luciano's here for Carpet Country too.
All right, the kick for goal. Tell you what, he's going to go within a couple of metres. It falls short, though, as you thought it might. And Leongatha at ground level have got some numbers, but only momentarily, because Wonthaggi's pressure is pretty good. Spills out, kick around the corner. Comes from Van der Plyt and offline again. 8 shots for goal in 18 minutes of first quarter. Guess what? No goal scored.
Scores 5-3, 5 behinds to 3 behinds. Wonthaggi are leading.
Blair squares it out wide to Schultz in the pocket, grandstand side. Comes towards the coach's box and the commentary area. Over the back for Williams. He's got a little bit of run now. Closing quickly as Forrester had no prior opportunity. Umpire will ball it up right in front of us, right in front of the interchange bench here at Wonthaggi. It's great to have your company on TRFM right across Gippsland and the Valley. It's a great game, first versus second. Not quite living up to expectations just at the moment when it comes to goals. However, 2-point margin in favour of Wonthaggi at the moment. 19 minutes gone, first quarter.
Even though we don't have a goal, it just still proves the dominance of both sides in regards to where they sit in the ladder. But they've had the opportunities, Wonthaggi, but Leongatha have just been as good in defence.
Yeah, well, we said 4 goals, but maybe what we should have said was 4 scoring opportunities more, because they have had 3 at this stage, and we're deep into the first quarter. Here we go again. Nicely done. Kim Drew runs hard, kicks well, finds a teammate, gets it on the rebound, and now just needs to find a teammate, and he has. And it's our mate Jesse Burns.
Just a bit far out for Jesse, I reckon.
Yeah,
might be just really testing his distance then too. But Kim Drew, how about his pace coming through the middle of the ground, and his follow-up as well.
Yeah, good composure, lowered the eyes, found a teammate. And yes, it will stretch Jesse Burns, but with the man sort of stuck on that mark, if he wanted to play on and gather a metre, he probably could. He doesn't. The kick for goal looks nice off the boot, and I reckon she's gone all the way. No touch. Just centimetres from the goal line. And guess what? Another behind.
It's 5 behinds to 4 behinds. Wonthaggi ahead on the Virtue Home scoreboard. 20 and a half minutes played.
So bringing it back in, Knowles goes short to Schultz. Looks to the near side. Again he comes. The kick comes off the side of the boot, and Dixon will mark this one. He can quickly play on. They've got numbers everywhere, Leongatha. Kim Drew was one of those. He's got called to play on now. Gets back onto the right foot. Goes back in the Burns direction, but the tall targets. Ferguson was at ground level. Big tackle by Burns. The umpire said holding it. As he just got tackled, he missed the footy. Incorrect disposal, and Burns will have another shot. This time the distance won't be a problem. He's only 15 metres out. The accuracy will be the question.
Spent a little bit more run in their game, Leongatha, just now in the last few minutes. Just their pressure to put the ball inside for repeat entries inside 50. resulted in another shot at goal.
The young 19-year-old Jesse Burns got a start at the right goalpost, does just that, and the first goal this afternoon goes to the Parrots' way, and it is Jesse Burns.
Yeah, it was a good finish there by Jesse. It was a great tackle too to boot, so it was well-deserved free kick. Definitely was there. And they'll be disappointed, the Wonthaggi side too, because done a lot of the work this quarter, haven't been able to sort of score it on the scoreboard. But a great finish there by the Parrots for their first.
And takes Leongatha into a 5-point lead at the 22-minute mark of this first quarter. Leongatha 1-4-10, leading Wonthaggi 5 behind 5 points, all on the Virtue Home scoreboard.
Scott, I've got another score quickly in the Gippsland League. Traralgon 6-2-38 to Maffra, no score.
6-2.
6-2.
In conditions like this, we've just had our first goal kicked at the 22-minute mark.
So Hutha gets the tap. Can he find a teammate? He can't. I thought, gee, everyone stopped. What's happened?
But we've got a
they're paid a free kick.
We've got a bit of sea breeze to
We
complete
have
this down here as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Comes off the ocean.
Fantastic for kite flying as he goes inside forward 50. That's almost a bit too easy, but dropping what shouldn't have been dropped was a young fella, Cooper McGuinness, but they've got Blair now. I'll give that same player another chance. Handballs over the head, more in hope than anything else. On the end of it's going to be Wonthaggi's Tom Murray kick for goals, and I reckon she's missed everything.
Yep, and the net as well.
The
One sec.
Point.
One sec. They're looking at no, one behind is what it's been given. A little bit lucky. Well, they've got a goal of sorts, have Wonthaggi.
And they've done it in 6 scoring shots pop. 6 behind, 6 points, Wonthaggi, trailing Leongatha 1-4-10. Virtue Home scoreboard, 23-minute mark, first quarter.
It's a bit of a barometer for me, Murray, too. He's been in great form as well, and just today he's a little bit quiet.
Well,
But
now with Sparks off, he has to
needs
be
to
that,
step up.
that number one runner.
Yep.
Of course, big moments brought to you by the Mall Bowling Club. Repeating earlier that Sparks will be out of the game with concussion. Of course, they got their pot and palmer night tonight. Only $20 as the kick comes back in. The free kick will go Wonthaggi's way again. And it's on the far side of the ground with Schultz. He looks up, and the leading forwards present. Does it get over the back? It just sits on Harley's head. They'll able to come in and spoil. Maskell's at ground level. Handled over the top. Jackson Williams was there. Couldn't gather it in the field of play, and we'll see a boundary throw-in. And unfortunately, at this stage, we haven't had too many Zambrero goal of the day contenders either, because
We've only had one.
they only had one, and they've got the new kids meal now available at Traralgon and also the new store in Warragul.
You know what? And that goal was probably the only reasonable attempt at goal of the 10 scoring shots we've had. I mean, there just hasn't been opportunity, so they need to make the most of them. And here's one now. Kick around the body, needs to be good, is not bad, but could be better. The kick came from Mitch Hayes, and 7 kicks on goal for...
7 behind.
7 behind. And they trail by 3 points. I have Leongatha at 1-4-10. The scoreboard's got 1-3.
We'll go with you, Paul.
We're going with you, Paul, all the way.
Actually, you didn't in the pre-game, Boxer.
Yes, I did.
You had a crack at him about Sale City playing. As Cade Maskell brings it back in for the Parrots, drives it out wide. Heppel sort of gets to the front area, trying to tap it back to Bowman. He gathered it, handled now to Hume. Out wide, close to the boundary line. Left kick was a little bit of a scrubber. Aidan Lindsay in the number 0. Crashed through one tackle. Handball was to the advantage of a teammate. And then quickly coming in, Kim Drew. He's been busy early for the Parrots.
I think the umpires have lost their whistle sometimes as well. I think there's been a couple of decisions that have really stood out that they should have called, and there's others that they've called that wasn't even there. So they've just got to make sure they've got some consistency.
Hutha tapped it down to Williams. Williams underground handball to Murray, and then got driven into the ground, holding the footy by big Benny Willis.
That's the payback right now.
So Ben Willis gave a quick handball out the back. Now to Forrester. He drives his left foot into it. Goes to half forward. Kyle Reid with the strength, and the reading of the football was just too good on that occasion. And Reid ambitiously comes in board. Dangerous spot. Ball now in dispute. Picked up cleanly off the ground by Bowman. Gives it to Forrester. Left foot kick. They go back inside forward 50. Wonthaggi got the numbers, but Ganane was smart. He just little toe poked it. Tried to get it going Leongatha's way. Burns got driven into the ground. Didn't have any opportunity. The umpire will ball it up directly in front, some 30 metres out from goal, Paul.
Hume and Drew both on 7 disposals this quarter.
So 30 metres out, Leongatha into attack, kicking to the town end, the right of radio here at Wonthaggi. At the moment, Leongatha 1-3, Wonthaggi 7 behind. So we've played 25 3/4 minutes of this first quarter. 1v2 on the ladder with 3 and 4 breathing down both of these two sides' necks. So a result positive is absolutely crucial. Not much separating these two sides, obviously. And although it hasn't been pretty to watch, the contest's been somewhat intriguing as Wonthaggi, last line of defence, picking up the ball was Jack Blair. Handballs it out. Can he find a way through? They can. No, the umpire says you just peeked your head over the boundary line, so there'll be a boundary throw-in about 25 metres from Leongatha's goals, grandstand side of the ground. And an opportunity for Leongatha to extend this lead if they can find a passage through. That's the $64 question, given the pressure around this ball. So the ball to be thrown back in. Probably falls short, catches the ruckman unawares. First tap there, though, came from Staley. And a quick kick out of defence from Lindsay. Leongatha are going to be the first play. Yeah, he's been good, hasn't he? Nice leg by... It was from Kim Drew, top of the square, but it's all Leongatha. They just need a bounce and they need to run. They get the bounce. Can they get the run? They can. A kick around the body. First player there was Isaac Chugg, but he's beaten to the ball by the boundary as well. Left half forward flank with Leongatha still pressing in the dying moments of this first quarter.
27 minutes gone. The first quarter all thanks to Virtue Homes. In-house design team can work with you to design your home that suits your lifestyle. You can be inspired at virtuehomes.com.au. Ball back into the field of play. And now Leongatha go forward again. This time Heppel drives it inside towards the target. Good work by O'Connor. As it's a 3-point margin in favour of Leongatha late into this first quarter. O'Connor goes short to Blair. That's Jack. Right on his defensive 50. Had Hayes, decided to ignore that one. He went further out wide and he finds Williams. Had to stretch a little. Jackson Williams late in the first quarter comes laterally again to Blair. Does Blair go backwards to O'Connor?
They're just trying to stretch this zone out a bit to find a gap, aren't they?
Goes short. And this time he finds on the far side of the ground his teammate. Is it Hayes? Yep. The left foot kick goes down the line, shoved out the way. Willis goes back, couldn't complete the mark. Handball forward there was from Hutchison. The run on from Chugg, gets around the tackler, comes back onto that left foot, finds the target in Lindsay, top of the 50.
Got some options here.
28 minutes are gone. Siren might not be too far away. Goes into the pocket, clears the forward heads, and they go to the shortest man, or one of the shortest men out there in Jared Blair. Not a great option.
Not a great decision at all. 3-on-1, shortest bloke out there as well. As we see another Leongatha player come off with a little injury as well. Keep an eye on that one for you too, Scud.
Vanderplate, that is. So 28 and 3/4 minutes gone into this first quarter. Leongatha lead it by 3 points. We think kicking into a breeze of about 2 or 3 goal advantage. Quick snap out of that stoppage.
Oh.
Is that the one that Leongatha won? I think you'll find it is. And it's McGuinness to open it up in the last line of this first quarter. And that's exactly what they needed. Boxer Cooper McGuinness opens his account.
The opportunist goal there too as well. And again, keeps his record intact where he's kicked the goal in every game so far this season. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Paul Carter, but at the same time, a much needed goal there from the Power. They worked really hard to get that goal. And believe it or not, now they're in front after all that we've had this first quarter.
100% correct there. Boxer McGuinness has kicked the goal every week. So we played 29 minutes into the first quarter. Virtue Homes scoreboard, Wonthaggi 1-7-13, leading Leongatha 1-4-10.
Observation spot on today by Nick Lucchino. Willis spot on too. Get the tap. Marriott's the player he went searching for. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Picking it up was Jack Blair, half-back flank, gives it away. And now Leongatha fortuitously falls their way, but only momentarily because Tim Knowles comes grandstand side. He finds his teammate in Josh Bates. That took a finger tipper. So he goes short. Finds Fergus O'Connor, long sleeves. And looks up the ground. Not a lot of room. He'll go for distance. He does that towards half forward. Huther Willis, back of the pack. Blair provided the contest, but didn't have the height to beat Cade Maskell. So Maskell goes, he's going to go along the line, you'd think he does. Goes back to whence it came. And guess what? It's going to go back the opposite way in just a moment. As soon as our man here, Jacob Thomas, can get hold of the ball. Does he give it back? He doesn't. Blair nearly stole it, pickpocketed.
Good little
quick kick off the ground. They go inboard and there's no room there. So the tackle from Willis, it was like a bear grabbing a custard pie. Took him to the ground and the boundary umpire will take that ball from player and at left half forward flank ball it up.
Yeah, Huther grabbed it out of the ruck. Quick kick forward. Top of the 50 it goes. In the directions of Harley. Does he keep it in the field of play? He does. Tapping it forward there was Heppel. Handball inboard to a teammate in Kim Drew. He's been one of the best for Terrelgan Subaru. Comes out the back though this time through Bates. Drives it in. 1-on-1. Out the back. Can't mark McGuinness. Does he recover quicker than Maskell? Not quite. Maskell was able to tap it towards the boundary line. And at 31 minutes gone into the first quarter, it is a 3-point margin in favour of Wonthaggi. So we've got a boundary throw in. Into a dangerous spot. Willis was there. Big tap back towards the boundary line. Hit over the football on that occasion. And the siren sounds. We won't see any further play. It was a very tough start for both sides with the conditions that we've got at the moment, but Wonthaggi lead it in the end by 3 points. They are kicking with a bit of a strong breeze. It's Wonthaggi 1 goal 7-13, leading Leongatha 1-3-9. The first quarter was all done. That was Virtue Homes. All thanks to, of course, you are listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM across Gippsland and the Valley. A quick break in the second quarter coming up after this. All thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. Thank you. Thank you. Where's Sparks?
Sleeping.
He's got the jacket on.
North Kippy. Absolutely disgraceful.
Did you get that Maul score? You worked it out?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, mate. Yes, it was Cooper McGuinness. Oh, did I? Did I call Leongatha?
Nah. It did.
Yeah, cut that crap out.
No, put it in. Put it in. Put it in.
Bloody hell.
Please. Dad joke.
Moment, it's Wonthaggi 1-7-13, leading Leongatha 1-3-9. Key stats, here they are, all thanks to Traralgon Subaru. Here's Paul Carter, the new Subaru Outback, the turbocharged all-wheel drive.
Well, surprisingly, inside 50s are fairly even. Wonthaggi winning at 13-12. They won the clearances 14-7 and the centre clearances 2-1. Free kicks went Leongatha's way 10-6. Marks Wonthaggi 18 to Leongatha 7. Leading stat winners for Leongatha of the ones we're following with just 4 apiece to Aidan Lindsay, Kyle Breed, Isaac Chugg and Mitch Hayes. For Leongatha, Cade Maskell 10 disposals, 9 to Kim Drew, 7 to Jack Hume.
Thanks very much, Paul. What do you make of that first quarter, Boxer?
Yeah, look, exactly what we probably expected in regards to the competitiveness of both sides. I mean, the conditions are pretty tough. Wonthaggi seemed to have a lot of the play inside 50, but when Paul gave us those stats of the evenness of the inside 50s, it just...
I thought they looked more composed, Leongatha. Yeah, they looked like they had when they went forward those 3 or 4 times, even though they only got the 1 goal, they looked as though they moved the ball better.
They played that
cleaner.
5th on baller as well. They played the conditions pretty cleverly as well, but I think Blair will be ruined the conditions, the fact that they had the ball inside their 50 and they didn't capitalise on it. They've had 8 scoring shots to 4, so they've had their opportunities. Well,
it'll be interesting to see what happens in this second quarter. Do Wonthaggi throw a loose one back? And the answer is...
No, not yet.
Not at the moment.
Not yet.
So interesting. We think the breeze is favouring the Inverloch end of the ground. And that is the way that Leongatha will kick in this second quarter, all thanks to the Moe Racing Club. And this is right up your alley, Boxer. Tickets now on sale for the Motley Crue tribute show.
Hey.
Looks that kill. Of course, it's going to be fantastic, the Moe Racing Club. But this is back underway here in the second quarter. Willis squeezed a handball to Marriott and got tapped up straight away. Just repeating that Ryan Sparks is out of the game with concussion after a sling tackle in that first quarter, and Matt Borschman out of the game, we believe, with a shoulder injury for Leongatha.
All right, Willis gets the tap down once more. First player there will be Mobilia. Feeds it off and they go forward, only about 30 metres. Blair taps it once, taps it twice. Beaten to the ball in the end by Leongatha's Jack Hume. And now just outside defensive 50. Good tackle laid. Held the ball in. Nice tackle it was too by Josh Bates.
Starting to get a little bit dark here too now, Boxer.
Dark. We might get a little bit of rain as well, so we're going to have every bit of the conditions for winter, I reckon, this afternoon.
All right, Willis Huther, I'll call it evens. Ground level, nicely done it was. Benny Willis, he's still fighting for that ball. Dances around a couple, gives out the handball. Quick kick forward, comes from Mobilia, top of the square. Well, the bounce, it was an off break and it found the arms of Cade Maskell, who on his wrong side goes towards the outer side of the ground.
Do you reckon the cameraman can close the door? It's freezing. Might be able to.
We need to get that footage out for all our viewers and listeners as well. You're listening to TRFM right across Gippsland and the Valley. We're nice and warm in the commentary box here, Boxer. Don't worry about that. The boys are doing it harder, and the netball girls are doing it just as hard on the netball court as well. Minute and a half into this second quarter. Willis in the front spot, tapped it down. Lindsay had it and then lost it. Squeezed a handball out from Leongatha. Lands in Kim Drew. He's been one of the best. And he kicks towards Heppel. And the breeze just takes it away from him. Lands in the field of play though, so we've got a boundary throw in some 80 metres around now from Leongatha's goal.
I've got some scores from the Gippsland League around the ground, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. Gippsland, Traralgon 8-4-52. They lead Map for just the 2 points. And the same trend is happening down at Morwell, just the 2 points. Moe 5-1-31.
Thank you very much, Boxer. Of course, Boxer's here this afternoon, all thanks to Carpet Country. Boundary umpire threw it in, it come back to him. So we'll do it again. Margin at the moment is still at the 3 points that it was at quarter time. This time the better throw in. Willis taps it over the back. Hayes was there to read it for Wonthaggi. And we'll have a stoppage now.
Well done to the Mid-Gippsland Football League. Every game is updated on their page on Player HQ.
That's what we like to
Moving north, 4-6-30. Hilland yet to score.
Marriott from that stoppage bust his way through. Kim Drew had his head over the football, didn't get the free kick. A little bit of a fresh area there from Mobilia. Ball hasn't travelled too far. Again, Kim Drew puts his head over the footy. The umpires just let it go. Stoppage.
I'll keep going, Scud. Foster 3-3-21 to Thorpedale 2-2-14. Fish Creek 2-1-13 to Morlease 1-2-8.
All right half forward flank. Leongatha kicking to the left of Radio. Ball not able to find a player from either side. The umpire will take control. 4 points the margin, favouring the home side. Round 12, important game, 1v2. Quick kick from the pack. Ooh. Nice. Stand in front always. And that's Tom Davey who was in front. And as a result of that quick kick, got a cheap mark. Goes short. Oh, just over the head. He went searching for his teammate there, and Harley couldn't find that play.
Great
Nicely
pick-up
done. And now Willis, he just needs to bust the tackle. Can he? He does. Can he kick for goal? He does. 1-on-1. No, good work, ground level. Another chance.
There it is.
Quick kick, and there you go. Nicely done by Isaac Chugg. And against what was a strong breeze, they've kicked the first goal in the opening 4 minutes.
Yeah, Power really cut the lines then too. They really wanted to push the ball forward really quickly too. And Blair, and we talk about both Blairs too, but Jack was instrumental then get that ball inside 50. It was, for me, the great contest by Campbell McGinn's on the goal line there as well. But Chugg was in the perfect spot and to finish it off.
Yeah, and I mean the first goal of this second quarter, obviously.
Yes.
That takes Wonthaggi onto a 10-point lead, and we're on the Murray Racing Club scoreboard, 2-7-19 to Leongatha 1-3-9.
So ball comes back to the middle, where Hutha will do the duties. Up against Willis, and a free kick will be giving away. It'll go Leongatha's way. Advantage will be paid to Kim Drew. Right foot kick, inside it goes. Forward, lead out, present. Gets over to the back. Jensen Garnham was there with Thomas. Thomas puts a strong tackle on Jensen Garnham. The umpire says quickly on the whistle, my ball. Boxer.
Scud, in the match of the day in the mid-Gippy, Newborough 1-3-9, Tarwin 4-1-25.
It's that game at Newborough?
It's at Newborough, it is.
Okay. So again, we're inside forward 50 for the Parrot. Big tap out there was from Wonthaggi. Marriott tries to work hard with Williams. And over it goes, another boundary throw in.
A couple more games too, Scud. 3-1-19 to Tura yet to score. Stony Creek 3-4-22 to Ballara, just the 1 point.
So back here, the margin sits at 10 points in favour of Wonthaggi as the rain starts to come down. A little bit of drizzle. Hutha just grabs it out of the ruck, got swung around 3 or 4 times. Umpire very quick with a whistle again. And we'll do this one, another stoppage. That's why quarters go 31, 32 minutes. No ruckman really got a handle on it. Trying to crash his way through there was Murray. Gave a handball to Hutha, who was under immediate pressure. And we'll do this one again. But Poppy, time for you to get it, clear it out. The rain's certainly come now.
Yeah, I'd never liked these sort of conditions myself. Bit tough for me. Wet, drizzly, gusty, windy.
Didn't matter for me.
No,
blame
sitting on the bench, it really doesn't. As the ball now, quick kick from the pack. Tell you what, it went straight for the boundary and landed on the wrong side as Wonthaggi tried to clear the area.
This is extreme weather conditions. Rain and blowing a gale.
They play on quickly. Does Jack Hume kicks for goal to within. In fact, it finds itself through for a behind. The kick came from 60 metres out. Such is the force of the wind going to the Inverloch end of the Wonthaggi Oval.
That wind's really picked up as well too. I reckon there's another goal advantage to this end, but now these conditions are going to make it a lot more difficult.
O'Connor went short, found Jackson Williams. They've come to the near side, the Power, and the kick goes high, just gets outside the 50. Big fly by Hutchison, couldn't complete it. At ground level there was Ganane. Gave a handball off, and quickly O'Connor pushes them over for a boundary throw-in.
Did I call that last one a point and it wasn't?
It wasn't.
It wasn't a point. Didn't make it. Okay, sorry, I thought it went through.
Only the one game to talk about in North Gippy because I can't get the other scores. Hayfield 1-5-11, Glengarry 1-3-9.
That happens too much.
Here's Marriott trying to burst through at pace. Pick up from Bowman was very clean in the conditions. Took on one tackler, lost the footy, and that's holding the ball. And O'Connor and Bowman have a bit of a crack at each other at ground level as well.
Didn't have a right foot. That was his problem.
So Kyle Reid gets it to the near side. Beautifully kicked to Hutchison. Takes a clean grab in front of his eyes. Looks up. Kicks it towards us. And we nearly got a touch. Out of bounds on the full. 7 minutes in. Things are deteriorating. So quickly, we have a free kick here. Right in front of us, and it is in the way of Forrester. Left foot kick, down the line it goes. No one can mark at ground level. Trying to work hard. Back there was McGannon, and now he has to put the tackle on the big ruckman in Hutha.
Just a bit of niggle being shown out there from both sides, in particular from and to Bowman.
So from here, Murray. Handballs outwards to Chugg. Power under a little bit of pressure. Knowles kicks around his body. Blair tries to keep it in. Tried to take the mark as well. Ball didn't quite stay in the field of play. We'll get a boundary throw in.
Scud, Gippsland Power final scores as well. I've written them in the wrong square, but it's okay. Gippsland Power 5-7-37 were defeated by the Geelong Falcons 9-8-62. That was played down at Avalon Airport Oval.
He would have been cold and wet down there. Heppel from this stoppage, busting his way through, little kick off the ground, gets it inside forward 50. Knowles had a fresh airy, play onto the umpire. G'nay snap around the body, pay the advantage. The Zambrero goal
Free
of the
kick
day.
goes Wonthaggi's way.
For what?
I'm not sure, but Glenane's missed out on 2 burritos.
Holding the ball. And Ganane would have got the Zambrero goal today.
Didn't run too far, did he? I didn't see it. But
No, it was...
Knowles had a fresh area. I would have thought it was holding the ball. Anyway, look back at that during the week. His kick was partially smothered. And now they go again to the Parrots. This time Marriott to Maskell. Left foot kick. No one at home. It's all Leongatha. It's away from goal. And that's probably the best result for the Parrots. They get a boundary throw in 5 metres around from their point post. 8.5 minutes in. And just like the first quarter, it took 21 minutes to get our first goal. Isaac Chad got one in the 4-minute mark.
He did, yep, exactly right.
exactly like the first quarter.
Nothing like the first quarter.
Exactly like the first quarter, except completely different. The ball now in defensive 50.
You reckon it's hard with me?
I know.
I'm off it.
Anyway, and for those who just tuned in, of course, the goal kicker for Wonthaggi in that first quarter actually played for Leongatha as well. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things happening here.
They all make mistakes in this job, don't they?
Come on, Poppy. Right, that's it. No more finger pointing at the players anymore, Pop.
Oh, I'm lost.
I've got you back.
Here we go.
I got you, mate.
Thank you, mate. Anyway, here we are. Morwell v Bensdale, I think. Left half forward flank, and we've got Leongatha applying some pressure, but Wonthaggi at the moment at half. Oh, look at that ball come in. It really does from the boundary throw in. If I paint the picture, the wind takes it at least 10 metres in the opposite direction. They go forward. Nice mark too, I thought. Running with the fly to the ball. Plenty of traffic around. And Jared Blair from just outside 50 will take the kick. Leads on. Can he find a teammate? He cannot. A diving slips-like attempt from Hutchinson possibly. Picked up nicely it was. And now Heppel gets Leongatha out of trouble as he finds his teammate there in Jensen Garnham.
Half-back flank, though. A long way from home for Jensen. He kicks down the line. And the big tall targets will fly. Thomas will put the spoil on. Williams did well to get there. Staley twisting and turning. Coughed the footy up. That's a throw. Leongatha now get on their bike and they move it quickly. It's Jesse Burns who has it on the far side. Just didn't have an option to kick to, so he has to come back. And he does to Maskell, who can continue to come back. He's got Turton in the middle of the ground, or he goes direct, and he goes direct over the back. It travelled good 60, 70 metres. Quick kick there was from Garnham. It got smothered. Thomas from the back half tries to relieve some pressure. Neatly done. And some good elevation there by Jackson Williams. Takes the mark, kicks it over the top. He's got Hayes, who just got held on one arm, and he's won the free kick, does Mitch. And they hold on to it at the moment. They're kicking into a stiff breeze, the Power, in this quarter. They still lead by 10 points.
So they find their way through. They look somewhat similar to what Leongatha looked like in that first quarter. A bit settled under pressure they are, given that they're sort of fighting off a 3 or 4 goal breeze, you would think. Hasn't shown on the scoreboard to date, but that's a courtesy of some good defence from both sides. And now the umpire will pay holding the ball.
Yep.
Didn't quite see that, but he's closer than I as they go forward again to Leongatha. Just forward of half-back, threaten the forward 50. And out the back of the pack, he's possibly their best chance. At trying to get the ball was Garnham, couldn't. Goes the way of Ganane, and Ganane offline and through for a behind.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know what he was thinking. It's just one of those little brain fades, maybe. The little dribble kick around the corner just didn't even balance up.
He had time.
A little bit more time to balance then too, so he'll be ruining that one, that's for sure.
12-minute mark, second quarter. 1-4-10 Leongatha, trailing Leongatha 2-7-19. Murray Racing Club scoreboard.
Don't forget the Motley Crew tribute show is on the 5th of August.
Girls.
$25 or $20 if you're a member at the Moe Racing Club, as Aidan Lindsay keeps it towards this near side. Mobilia couldn't complete the mark. First time we've seen Noah Anderson?
Yep.
Yeah, Noah Anderson. He's normally pretty lively up forward. Granted, it hasn't been down there too many times. So boundary throw-in right in front of us. 12.5 minutes gone into the second quarter. Only the 1 goal scored so far. It's a low-scoring affair. Big tap there was from there Knowles, and then trying to run through the tackle was Drew, and he's been pinged for holding the ball, Tom Murray.
Just the way the forward line now works for Wonthaggi, we find now Troy Harley's finding himself more in the ruck than what we do down forward at the minute.
Well, now he rolls forward. He was the target. Lindsay was the front and square. Hume was there. Lindsay's handball was good to Hayes. Kim Drew's been on fire this afternoon. Handball to Heppel, who barrelled it towards centre half forward. It clears a couple of players, goes over to the back of centre half forward area for the Leongatha side. Coming the other direction was Thomas. Gave a handball to Reed, then he just lost it with no pressure. Gave it back to Blair. His little chip around the body is going to be turned over, and Noah Fixter takes the mark for his first touch this afternoon. Rolls around onto the right foot, kicks towards Talon Brill with a big spoil, and that occasion was from Staley. And gets stuck into Talon Brill and says, "You're not going to take a mark on me anytime soon." We've got a boundary throw in far side of the ground, 14 minutes gone.
You get the feeling that Wonthaggi are trying to apply a bit of physical pressure off the ball as well. There's been 3 or 4 instances already that...
I think Leongatha have been a lot stronger inside in regards to tackling and everything else too.
Yeah,
So
they've been good, but look...
Not sure where the physicality sort of comes from with these two sides. They sort of like each other. They're very friendly with each other.
Yeah. At any other time except Saturday between 2 and 5.
That's right.
Ball now with Troy Harley. Took the ball from the boundary throw-in. The umpires found a free kick. It's going to go Wonthaggi's way. Holding the ball. And...
this Troy Harley's got it.
It is.
Yeah,
Playing
it's
back.
Troy Harley. So from the half-back, we'll kick towards half-forward. Tell you what, that ball's playing havoc with players, just trying to find the right position. Long sleeve, is it Maskell back there? Or
Yep, it's Maskell.
Or Forrester, you think? Forrester?
Yep.
Half back to half 40 goes. Free kick off the ball, was it? No. Player was taken off the ball. Thought he was going to get the free kick. It wasn't, and Harley goes. Finds a teammate there. Nice fly and take by Isaac Chugg. Right in front of the scoreboard that reads Wonthaggi 2-7. Leongatha 1 goal 4. Played 15 minutes, second quarter. The short legs on. Can't find a teammate. The easiest of marks taken by Turton from the half-back line.
Being played between the arcs at the moment, Boxer, and just can't sort of find their inside forward 50s, and they're not clean, especially for Leongatha or Wonthaggi. And the kick again is marked at half-back.
I just think they're going to square it up a little bit more.
Well, here's their chance, Box. That kick came inboard to Murray, and they get it further afield. Knowles got shoved off the footy. Jensen Garnham had it handled over the top, looking for Marriott. Great work by Murray to come the other way. Now they got some run, but the kick was just a kick and hope. And on this occasion, it hasn't come off. And taking the mark back there is Hayden Lindsay. Squeeze a handball out the back to Sam Forrester. Left foot kick to the near side, looking for Fixter. Going to get over the top of his head. He's got a couple to beat. And the 2 win out. And this time it is Lindsay. Left foot, right foot to kick around the body. It's all Leongatha back in the middle though. And Kim Drew, how many touches has Kim Drew had this afternoon for Terrelgan Subaru?
14.
His kick goes inside forward 50. That's the best entry we've seen all afternoon. And the good presenting leading target, Jensen Garnham, will take the mark and have a shot, and this should go through the middle.
And that's the difference though, Scud, too, because they moved it quick. Didn't allow Wonthaggi, who like to get numbers in deep and really clog up their defensive 50. Jensen was on a really good lean then too, and a great kick from Drew.
Perfect spot to have a shot on goal with this wind condition coming from his right shoulder.
Perfect.
And he's 45 metres out, puts it on a tway, and that's where you put it straight through the middle. The goal umpire did not move, and Leongatha get the first goal, their first goal of this second quarter.
Might just change the focus on the way they play the game now for Leongatha, doing what they just did then. It might just force them to actually bring the ball inside the middle of the ground where they're really more dangerous, and really put defence, the Wonthaggi defence, under a lot more pressure. Great finish then by Jensen, real good.
Leongatha's first goal of the quarter has come at the 17-minute mark, and on the Murray Racing Club scoreboard to see a 3-point advantage to Wonthaggi. They are 2-7-19, leading the Parrots 2-4-16.
All right, ball back in the centre of Wonthaggi Recreational Reserve, and a good tap down it was too from the home side's ruckman in Troy Harley. The umpire will take control though after his tap. He found a teammate in Mitch Hayes, couldn't find the room. He gets another tap. Did he find Blair, who grabbed the ball but couldn't find space? It wasn't Blair, but it was a teammate. Harley v Willis. Haven't moved much in the first few minutes. I thought, free kick given away against Harley, taken by the big man in Ben Willis. Feeds it off quickly. Here we go again. Drew, his last kick was a beauty. I tell you what, it was too good for his teammate there in Van der Plyte, who couldn't take the mark but should have. It was a rocket-like left footer from the centre of the oval, and Van der Plyte took it on his chest, or attempted to, and it bounced straight off the bugger.
Carbon copy it was. Margin now 2 points in favour of Wonthaggi as they bring it back in. Schultz got around a couple, gave it to O'Connor, who then got shuffled over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Is he a natural left footer or right footer, Drew? Because he can kick on both sides.
Well, the last two,
great
were left foot.
Yeah, he's kicked with the right there most of the afternoon as well. So, geez, he's got it all. He's got it all. In his
From the stoppage, here it is. Harley doing the ruck duties, grabbed it out, kicked it to the far side of the ground. It's a foot race on. Williams is there for the power. Taps it. Chug will come in to help. Great work by the Parrots. Over the shoulder free kick. Yep. No, holding the footy, the umpire said. So it looked high from here. I agree with you, Pop. As Jack Hume gets up. Doesn't know how he didn't get the free kick. Isaac Chug was the one who won the free kick. Left foot kick out towards the scoreboard and actually nearly hit the scoreboard. And that's 15 metres outside the boundary line.
You just got to force that kick to the middle of the ground. If you want to lead to that wing, that's fine. Open it up that way. But then to find more runners and spread inside the middle of the ground, Wonthaggi.
Westaway went back to Jackson Harry, squares it up. Into the breeze they go with this switch. It's dangerous, but it's worked so far. Dixon has it. Come to the near side. Big presenting lead from Bowman. Lands at his toes. Can he gather it? No, he got shoved over by Murray. Into the fence he goes. We've got a boundary throw in. And now Bowman just picks himself up. And we've travelled 20 minutes.
Isn't it crazy? I'm being a little bit critical, but it's only and they're 2 points in front, Wonthaggi still for the quarter. So it's just the way this game's panned out at the moment.
And it's a fair old strong breeze. It is going down to the left-hand side where Leongatha are kicking. Wonthaggi couldn't take advantage of it. Now in the second quarter, Leongatha can't take advantage. And we've got a secondary stoppage.
Scud, match of the day in the North Gippsland Football League. First versus second, Woodside 2-2-14, TTU 4-3-27.
All right, the ball half-forward flank. Willis takes the ball, one hand, gets a quick kick. Does he threaten the forward 50? He does, but marked nicely down there. You pick the player, Jack Blair. Thanks, Scud. Jack Blair, defensive 50. Brother of. Looks left, looks right. Inevitably will go long, or does he? No, goes short.
Ooh.
Dances around the man on the mark and finds his teammate there in Mitch Hayes. He too looks left and right. Short option for Connor, is it? Yeah, goes to that player. Some dangerous pieces of play given the tricky conditions as they thread their way through, but that's when they've come up stuck. That's the problem. Willis gets a tap away, can't find a teammate. Not in the first instance. In the second instance, he found his Jensen Garnham, who in turn found Marriott. Kicks to within 20 metres. Ganane got first hook, and now Burns. A kick around the body for goal number 2.
Yep.
Yes, sirree, that's what we have. And a contender too, but guess what? The Zambrero goal of the day.
That's what they're there for. That's exactly what they're there for. He read that well, beautifully off the pack, and a great snap finish. Here we go. But it was a great finish there from a young fella, and he finished himself off with a nice goal there too to Leongatha.
And that takes Leongatha back into the lead. We're at the 21-minute mark of the second quarter. The Murray Racing Club scoreboard has the Parrots at 3-5-23, leading Wonthaggi, who are 2-7-19.
Well, it certainly was a Zambrero goal that I contender. Don't forget the new kids meal out now. It's available, and kids have been missing out on some Mexican. You can get into your Traralgon or Warrigal store today. As back to the middle, Marriott tried to crash his way through, and Bowman just held him up as well. And so let's do the stoppage again. Lindsay's been working hard on both those midfielders. Willis taps it forward. Lindsay read it though. At ground level, couldn't quite take a claim. Beautifully picked up by Marion. Shrugged one, shrugs two. Little toad poke. Talonbrill was there. He's got some pace. Can he get the left foot snap? He gets it around. It bounces on the last line. Back there was Staley. Got high was Vanderplight. Play on, said the umpire. Ball in a dangerous spot. Wonthaggi under pressure. Great little candy by Staley. Was able to sell it to two Leongatha players. Kick it out towards his top of the defence, his 50. No one can mark it. Ball in dispute, Jackson. Harry's there for Leongatha. He squeezed a handball out, and there's a dust up in the pocket. Umpires have said, I haven't been watching this. There's
free kick's going to go Leongatha's way.
Yep. And then O'Connor just dumped Jack Hume as well. So after all that, I missed what was happening in the pocket. The cameraman would have got it, I dare say. There's Jack Hume. He missed it. He just turned around and gave us the advice. So Jack Hume will have the shot on goal. After all that, Vanderplight comes off holding a jaw. 22 and a half minutes gone.
This is where you're going to come out now. This is where you can have the banana kick.
Well, Leongatha now lead by 4. Hume puts it on its way.
Across the face.
And across the face for a minor score. And the Murray Racing Club scoreboard this afternoon. Become a member today And you can get tickets for only $20 for the Motley Crue Tribute Show.
3-6-24, Leongatha leading Wonthaggi 2-7-19. 23 minutes played, second quarter.
Ball comes back into the field of play. It was from Knowles and lands on the chest of Brodie Mobilia, top of the defensive 50 for the Power. Looks up, kicks towards this near side. Hutchison flies. The elevation helps him. He's got good hands, he's got a good leap, but he's on the half-back flank for the Power. Kicking into a stiff breeze. They trail by 5 points. Handballs in towards Knowles. He goes inboard now to Hayes. Got to get boot to ball quickly. He does that jab. Maskell all on his own. He reads the ball so well across half-back, and if he's a loose man, he'll get 9 times out of 10 he'll get the ball. Maskell's stats this afternoon, Paul, with that kick.
Another 4 this quarter. It's 14 for the game.
It might be 14. The 14th kick wasn't his best. Went out of bounds on the full.
Very unlike him.
Yep. Tricky conditions.
Yeah, no question about that.
Inboard kick went to Fergus O'Connor, who takes the mark. Just trying to hold it up and slow things up. The problem with this, we spoke about this before the game, the way they like to get it out of their defensive 50 is holding on the ball, hitting the targets. The breeze is causing all sorts of problems with that style of play. So they kick it down the line. Mobilia was in there in the front spot. He handles over the top. Heppel squeezed a handle to Ganane. Tried to get it to Kim Drew. Got tackled. He didn't have the football. Hard attack on the footy was Jensen Garnham. Bowman shuffled it out towards Brill. They got some numbers if they're clean, and they do. Heppel goes to the far side where Turton in stride takes the mark. Took on the tackler in Chug. That's holding the footy, I think.
Great
it
tackle.
is.
Great tackle.
Isaac Chug with a great effort. And a great run as well. He stopped that forward thrust from the Parrots. He takes the free kick.
He does too. Now he looks along towards that outer side. He's got a couple of options inboard, but goes towards that outer side. It's a one-on-one contest, ground level. They've got the numbers, the power. Can they get the ball out? They cannot. The umpire will take control here, right in front of the scoreboard, outer side of the ground. 25 minutes gone, second quarter. Low scoring, but somewhat of an arm wrestle. Nonetheless, Wonthaggi 2-7-19. Leongatha 3-6-24. Willis got fingers to it, didn't get a deliberate tap. Picking the ball up nicely was Murray. He was picked up equally as well, and the ball spills out and over the boundary line. So just Wonthaggi's side of the outer side of centre wing by a few metres. But you watch this ball come in. Come in and she'll swing left. And there she goes.
So
a good 10 metres.
That's an advantage kick, that one.
You're not wrong. The ruckmen are onto it. They can't get the ball out again. The central umpire will take control.
They'd like to have a swing like that at the Ashes, wouldn't they, Paul?
Yes, you would. I don't think that a Bairstow would be happy with that, though.
Not in the spirit of the game.
No.
Turn the wind down.
Here we go. So as players start to tire, and
did I tell you, Poppy, that I got asked to be in a Motley Crue cover band back in the day?
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Can you play an instrument?
I missed out. Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Couldn't sing and couldn't play an instrument.
No.
So how did they ask you?
Mere technicalities, Boxer.
Yeah, that's right.
He's on fire this afternoon. He's here for Cup for Country as well. Heppel.
Born to be funny. Looks funny.
I'll give you an AFL score that's funny.
Yes.
The Brisbane Lions 10-9-69 to the Eagles 2-3-15 into the third quarter.
It's a bit harsh, Nick. It's not real funny
At
for you.
Kennedy Stadium. It's not Kennedy Stadium, is it?
Oh, not again.
I can't do this.
Can't just keep rehashing that one. Can they get something going here for the Parrots? It's Kim Drew. He's been great and a good delivery again. I tell you what, he's got to be a left foot. Burns handles over the top. Jack Hume, he's got the belly of that one.
Ooh.
He wanted to come back from left to right.
Like I didn't park the ute there.
What about the free kick, though?
Yeah, thought it was a free kick.
Shoved in the back. Umpire goes play on, and Jack Hume still had his chance to have a shot on goal.
Yeah, so Nick Lucino, who keeps on making the same mistake and then wonders why he's got 11 children.
10.
So ball's just gone 25 rows back here.
Yeah.
Cleared the net and ended up on... Where do we got? Tennis court back there.
Yeah, so just repeating those scores. Wonthaggi 2-7-19, Leongatha 3-6-24, 27 minutes gone, second quarter. It's 1v2, the one being Leongatha, 2 Wonthaggi with 3 and 4. And that is, of course, Moe and Terrelgan breathing down the neck of both of these sides. So the result today, absolutely crucial. The ball back in play now. It's Wonthaggi deep in defence and deep into the second quarter. You'd expect to play reasonably safe. They come grandstand side, the target did they find him? Went searching for, couldn't find Hoother. But at ground level, a quick kick forward from Staley. This could be their last opportunity. Nicely done, Hutchinson. Can he find? He can't. And that time he went for Harley. A nice tackle by Marriott, holds ball and player in. Grandstand wing, the player being Jared Blair, who came up with the ball, and Marriott came up with both Blair and ball. Willis got the tap, nice tap too. Although it went in Wonthaggi's hands. A little bit of room to move, good work too. Tom Murray went searching for his lookalike in Josh Bates. But both of those players.
Yep, very similar, aren't they?
They are. Murray and Bates are beaten to the ball by the boundary. So in front of our commentary position, the boundary throw-in to take place.
Just gone 29 minutes. Don't forget this will probably go 31, 32 because of all the stoppages. Murray, Hoother it was, grabbed it out of the ruck, kicks to centre half forward. Chug's got some pace, taps it forward. Westaway came out to meet him. Chug's still there, tries to scoop it up with one hand. Turton, does he get through the tackle? No, he got his handball away. Hutchison, a clever little tap out the back for McGuinness, well wrapped up in a Dixon tackle.
How good was Dixon then? Like, it was one-on-one. McGuinness was gone then and had just enough poise to make that tackle stick.
Leongatha lead by 5 inside Wonthaggi's forward line though. Hutchison was there at the roving, couldn't quite get a kick away. Kick off the ground there was Dixon, then drove his player into the back. Umpire said play on. Vanderplat tried to pick it up. Umpire lets it go, now calls his whistle. And again we'll have another stoppage in the same spot. Can they get one late in the quarter again? Wonthaggi tapped out by Harley. Murray tries to run onto it. Couldn't get a clean handle on it. Westaway's handball went straight to his opponent. Now the ball trickles over for a boundary throw-in. 29 and make it 30 minutes gone into the second quarter, which is all thanks to the Moe Racing Club this afternoon. Boundary umpire to get us back underway. Willis had the right spot to grab it out of the ruck and just kick it out and take the mark. Is Jack Hume. At half-back, handball over the top, allows Marriott to run onto this one. He tapped it forward, he gathered it, he got through one tackle, but he couldn't get through the second. And Mobilia wrapped him up, holding the footy. And again, you wanted the call, Poppy, you wanted to go to goal, he probably should have put ball to boot.
Well, he should have, and I bet he wished he did in hindsight, as they come grandstand side to the home side. Jordan Staley.
I'm not sure what the advantage is going lateral right now, this late in the quarter. Broke last minute.
They're kicking into the breeze though. Oh, you're talking about Leongatha?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So down direct.
They go searching for the corridor to Wonthaggi. They've got the players to keep possession. Jack Blair was one of the most recent, but the race is on now. Wonthaggi's Tim Knowles leads that race and grabs the ball. Can he find a teammate? He can. Nicely done to Reid along the line. And here we go. Within the I was going to say within the last few seconds they've got the chance, and Soren went just as they threatened 50. So half-time score with Scud Cooling.
That sees Leongatha 3-6-24 leading Wonthaggi 2-7-19. It's a slow and low-scoring affair over here in South Gippsland at the Wonthaggi Rec Reserve. It is 1v2. It's tough conditions. The breeze is pretty strong out there. We've had a little bit of rain in that second quarter for the Moe Racing Club, but it sees Leongatha lead it by 5 points at half-time. We've got the half-time wrap coming up after the break, and this is at Gippsland Live. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. Let's get down to business. Third quarter about to get underway for McDonald's. Both sides out in their positions. Umpires just about ready to get things underway. At the moment, it's a 5-point margin in favour of the Parrots. They kick into a bit of a stiff breeze into this third quarter. Can Wonthaggi take advantage of it? And this third quarter is about to get underway. Here's Rob Popplestone to kick things off across Gippsland and the Valley.
Okay, Hutha v Willis. I think Willis got the hands to it. She's just missing. It was Drew. Quick kick from the centre square. The race is on inside Wonthaggi's forward 50. They work it out nicely, do the Parrots through Maskell.
Free
He
kick.
got hit as he handballed, and the hit the umpire deemed high.
So both coaches are prepared just to not to play that spare man down back. We're just prepared to go man on man at the moment.
And I'll tell you what, that wind has not been as strong as what it is all day, and you can see the result of that. Touched over the line. Drew was the player that took the ball, but I thought he took it cleanly. So
exactly,
he's asking whether or not. So he obviously landed over the line, so it's either out of play on the full or a mark.
Has to be.
Unless he's fumbled it on either side of the line, and the umpire's paid the mark, as Scud thought it might have been. He's been one of the best players on the ground today.
Yep.
As Leongatha's Kim Drew from half-forward flank goes short, finds Forrester, who hasn't been as busy as he normally has, been serviceable, but the conditions going to make it tough for anyone to really stand out.
That's going out.
And guess what? We've seen plenty of that today, haven't we? Out of play on the full, and Forrester gets the resultant free kick, goes short, went searching for Blair, didn't come off. Burns picks up, they go forward. The Parrots can make something out of nothing here, or can they? Burns butters up, another kick. Tackle by Forrester was a beauty.
Holding the ball.
And saved a certain attack on goal. Forrester takes a free kick.
Yeah, O'Connor, it is Fergus O'Connor does well, drives it into the middle of the ground, gets out the back of Chug. Blair, quick handball to Lindsay, and he runs to 55. He's got one on. Does he find his target out there? It's Hutchison. Can't gather him the first time. McGuinness is there to help. Hutchison will snap around the body. That's not going to come back from right to left. It's going to go out of bounds on the full across the face of goal.
Lindsay was just trying to do the team thing, I get that, but he probably had more scope running straight ahead, going for goal rather than go out wide.
100%. Have a crack at that. So 2 minutes in, Cade Maskell has the free kick again from his defensive back pocket.
Can we order a cup of soup or something?
As Maskell's kick goes out wide. Hutha couldn't quite complete the mark. At ground level it goes, and Westaway and Burns will see it over for a boundary throw-in. And if there's anyone from McDonald's listening, it is your quarter. We would love, well, maybe some of those spicy, sticky barbecue Angus from McDonald's would go down all right. But a nice McCafe also. Coffee would go down well.
Even a glass of hot water.
Yeah, don't mind.
Ball, quick kick. Dozen players around the ball. Spits out just as the umpire came in to pay a free kick. Will go the way of Wonthaggi and Aidan Lindsay.
We should tell our listeners we are inside.
Yeah. I'm getting up, Jared. He wheels around onto the right boot, gets over the top of Hume, not quite. He got a fingertip to it, picked up at the toes by Chug. Left foot shot on goals across the face, getting through for a minor score. McCafe celebrating 30 years of coffee, fit for an Aussie and fit for Boxer in the commentary box.
3-9-27 Wonthaggi. They lead Leongatha by 3 points. Leongatha 3-6-24. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Almost 10 minutes played in this third quarter.
Okay, Cade Mescal to bring the ball back into play. He thought about going down the corridor, chose the outer side of the ground, as he's done. Through left high, couldn't take the ball. Ground level, nicely done. Was taken by Van der Pleyt. But all players beaten to the ball by the boundary once more. Wind favouring the left of radio. And Wonthaggi kicking that way at the moment with a 3-point margin, 10 minutes gone, third quarter. So contesting this ball will be Harley, who has been pretty good. Oh. The ball takes that at least 10 or 15 metres.
Poppy, I'm giving the boundary umpire an inside 50 for that one.
Yeah, unbelievable, wasn't it?
They've got it tough this afternoon.
We had a couple of new contenders in the ruck as well, and it caught them both by surprise. But for those at the ground, you'll see the trees in the background really blowing left. And Wonthaggi need to probably make more of that, and they're going to do that right now. Harley, who was so good before, kicking a goal, took the ball again, but he equally was taken. Marriott, quick kick, only goes as far as Knowles. So Tim Knowles plays on quickly, not the best move because you're going to find his leg, hits the Isuzu in the background and just bounces off that. But
and the Subaru at the same time.
Subaru was the one I was thinking of, sorry.
I suppose the conditions aren't going to give us a true indication of these two sides either, are they? So, I mean, you're going to get play with what you have.
Yeah, but you might be playing grand final day like this.
You could be.
Doesn't matter.
You haven't got a crystal ball, have you?
Last year's grand final, wet, heavy conditions as well. You just never know what you're going to get. Big kick out there from Leongatha. Big pack will form and touch it over for a boundary throw in 11.5 minutes now gone into this third quarter.
Good to see Morwell's finally kick the goal for the afternoon. Morwell 1-4-10. They trail Maui 6-10-46 thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland.
It was big moments thanks to the Morwell Bowling Club this afternoon. Ball comes back into the field of play. Kicking that and getting dumped at the same time.
How to play in the full? How many times today?
Van der Pleyt it was.
So both sides are down to 3 on the bench. Borschman hasn't come back since that shoulder. Obviously we lost Sparks with that concussion, but now with the young Lindsay, Hayden Lindsay's come off as well with a corky by the look of it. Hasn't come back on the ground yet.
So far side of the ground, Bates it was, drove it inside forward 50, and a free kick was given against Anderson, Noah Anderson. Got a little bit expectations trying to jump over the top of his defender there, and
Heppel
quickly Heppel's kick might be turned over. It is, and it lands in the lap. The cross the goal kick, the switch kick into the breeze. Crucial time of the game was a missed kick, lands in the hands of Aiden Lindsay, who's wearing the number 0 this afternoon. Of course, it is a mental health round. They're all got the blue 0 on. There's 2 from each side, right across all the games. Aiden Lindsay will come in from about 35 metres out. This is where you want to kick goals from, and Lindsay can't. He misses. It's a minor score. That could be the one you look back on. They've got to take those advantages every single time.
That takes Wonthaggi to a 4-point lead, 3-10-28 to Leongatha 3-6-24. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, 13 minutes played. Inside 50s, 8-0. Wonthaggi's way this quarter.
Okay, Mescal brings the ball looking for Marriott. He's outnumbered 4-1, and as a consequence, Power go inside forward 50 again. Blair, quick handball. Nicely done. Can they find you? Possibly. A teammate in Bates, but he can't get a clean possession, and will be held in there. I reckon Forrester's on the bottom of that one.
I think for Wonthaggi now, they need to kick a couple of goals. They're going to take real advantage of this win, especially this last quarter, just to make sure they've got real grasp of this game.
Well, they're only 4 points in front. They need more than that.
They do.
Marriott clears the area. Jumping high was O'Connor, couldn't take the ball. Harley fights hard, or may have been Hoother, in fact.
Might have even been Staley.
Might have been Staley. Ball thrown back up, nicely done. Looking for some clear air here somewhere, but a dozen players around the ball and not much room to move, so the umpire finds some room, and it goes the way of Aiden Lindsay. Plays on quickly. Nicely done too. Jack Blair, can he find a winner? He can't. And he went searching for, couldn't find Jack Hutchinson. Nice tackle, keeps the ball in the area. So the pressure's just been lifted into the red zone a touch. Wonthaggi still leading by 4 points, 3-10 to Leongatha's 3-6. 14 and a quarter minutes gone, third quarter.
Just know how to hold their ground, Leongatha, in the defence.
So 40 metres out, Harley tapped it over the top, running onto this one. There was Bates, gives it across now to Harley, who spun around, got a right foot kick to it, goes to the top of the square. Maskell got a fist in. Hutchison was at ground level. He's cat-like, lost the footy. The umpire said play on. Davey tries to come in to help for the Power. And Leongatha slow things up. We've got another stoppage. 14 and a half minutes gone now into this third quarter for McDonald's Gippsland. Boxer wants the new spicy, sticky barbecue Angus. We just want a couple of goals. Taking it out of the ruck there was Harley. Heppel was there. Bowman, little toe poke along the ground. Will find the boundary line. Insufficient attempt. No, doesn't count today. As the breeze blows it out. We've got a boundary throw in. They need, what are we thinking? How many goals do they need to be in front by three-quarter time for Wonthaggi to hold on, boys?
Between 2 and 3.
At least 2 and 3, yeah. 2 to 3.
All right. So it's somewhere between that 15-point margin they're looking at, which at the moment only sits at 4. Still got half the quarter to go, though. This time, a stoppage 30 metres out from goal. I'll have one more crack at it, Poppy. See if we can get it out.
Come on, big guy.
Tap down by right. Can they get it out of the stoppage area? Hayes overruns it. Head over the football now. Looking for the free kick at ground level was McGuinness, and he hasn't got one. So it's over to you, Rob Popplestone, on TRFM. Right across Gippsland and the Valley. You're listening to Gippsland Live. All thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical, Gippsland.
All right, Willis got the tap. Frew gets the kick. Gains 55 metres. Outer side of the ground, outnumbered 2-1. Nice mark taken by Staley. Tries to centre the ball in the corridor. Forward 50, 30 metres out.
Oh,
nice take under pressure. Good strong mark.
Maskell.
And Maskell, Cade, who's been pretty good from full back, kicking in on 10 occasions. Goes short this time. Doesn't burn the ball too often at all. Heppel's his target short. Comes grandstand side. Risky play it's been today. This time he's okay. Finds Guy Dixon, who in turn goes short. Geez, he got a pitching wedge under that one, but was fine to find Jackson Harry. So Harry from the right half-back flank along the line. Kick didn't have much distance to it. Kept in or not? Blair does. No, does not. Boundary umpire calls it out in front of our commentary position. 16 and a half minutes gone. Third quarter. Scores. Wonthaggi 3-10. Leongatha 3-6.
16 and three-quarter minutes gone. Third quarter boundary throw in. Hoother and Willis. Willis tapped it over the back. There was Heppel. Squeezed a handball to Kim Drew. Left foot kick. Inside forward 50. One of the rare occasions for the Parrots. It stops and props. Reed gathers. Handballs back to Knowles. Knowles with a right foot kick. Clearing. Outside his defensive 50. Davey is out there as well. What do we got?
Downfield, Scud.
So Davey will have the free kick.
It was on Knowles, just after he kicked.
So Bates has now the free kick. He drives it towards half forward. Hutchison the target. Hits him on the chest.
Got to move.
They do move it. Inboard. Dangerous sort of kick. Can it get to Williams out the back? It clears his head in the end. Comes to Anderson. Gets around the tackler. Only just. Lindsay was the tackler. Taps it forward. Hoother has to do some groundwork. Slips over. Taps it out towards Murray. Head over the footy there was Brill. He tried to clear it out. Willis gave a quick little handball across down to Westaway. He relieved the pressure, but it might only be for momentarily though. Jensen Garnham though had it. Kicked it high. Looking for the free kick was Reed and found it, as Lockie Wright just got him over the shoulder. Intensity is lifted. I think the Power understand they need to be a couple of goals in front at three-quarter time. At the moment, it's only 4 points. Reed will go in the Harley direction. He's going to have 2 to beat. Westaway will be one of those, and Harley ran underneath it. And Maskell took the mark unopposed.
Yeah, too easy there. Sort of blazing away up forward rather than kicking to target. Both sides are guilty of it, and the conditions haven't helped. But now Maskell will take that mark, and he's probably forced to come grandstand side. Probably not his best option, but his left leg is neat. Went looking for Willis, couldn't find that player. Nicely picked up by Lindsay. Aidan Lindsay kicks to within metres of goals. Now is it Hutchinson around the corner?
Yep.
A quick kick around his body goes across the face of goals, and again out of play in the full. So those scores haven't budged despite the pressure. Wonthaggi, forward 50 entries, Paul Carter.
13-1, Wonthaggi's way.
13-1 in this quarter. Wonthaggi 3 goals, 10-28. Leongatha 3-6, 24.
They've kicked 1 goal, 3 this quarter.
Yeah, they've gone to the counter a few times but bought nothing, unfortunately. So That margin's locked at 4 points, nearly 19 minutes gone, or just ticked over 19 minutes gone.
So Leongatha haven't scored in the third quarter. It's going to be extremely tough for Wonthaggi to score in the final, so they have to get a hurry on. Boundary throw-in again. Huther in the front spot. Lindsay was there as well. Bowman closed quickly with another boundary throw-in. We've now ticked over 19 and a half minutes in the third quarter.
And Wonthaggi haven't scored with their last 5 inside 50s.
Paul Carter's here this afternoon for Traralgon Subaru, the new Subaru Outback, the turbocharged. Got us over here in record time, within the speed limit, of course. As Mobilia snaps around the body just inside forward 50. Again, we've got the boundary throw in. Nick Lucchino's.
Paul Carter's not making dreams become a reality.
That's what you do, Nick.
That's what I do.
For Carpet Country since 1981. I can't believe it.
81.
Been on trend for that long.
Yep. And just growing and growing.
That's not what Marty said.
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly right. Willis got the tap. Nicely done. Blair left leg. Top of the square. Can he find a winner? Possibly. Bad bounce. Second opportunity, though. Noah Anderson. That's seconds count, and all of a sudden the pressure's on. Leongatha clear the area. Races on. Is that going to aim down the opposite end of the ground? It is. And now a quick kick forward from Heppel. Clears the area. Goes searching for the boundary. Cannot find it. Nicely done by the big fella in Jacob Thomas. Starts to threaten 50. They burst through 50. Are they beaten to the ball? Is the boundary? No. Nice take it was too. Noah Anderson from 40 metres out. Need his very best kick, you'd think. Kicks to the top of the square or thereabouts.
Hutchison.
Hutchison got hands to it. Will it find it behind? It won't. Can they keep it in? They cannot.
Point.
And so a point is scored. So they squeeze their way out to a 5-point margin. Paul Carter.
3:11.29. Wonthaggi to Leongatha still in their half-time score at 3:6.24, and that's on the Donald's Gippsland scoreboard.
So Cade Maskell again will bring it into the field of play. He has Hume on the near side, but they don't want to go there. They go to the safe option on the far side where the breeze will take it. Big fly. And in the front spot, big Tomahutha. The ruckman don't get any smaller. He's too far out to score. He's going to reload with the right foot. Kicks to about 40 metres out. Davey, one of the small mans will fly. Can't complete it. Forrester gathered, wrapped up straight away. Directly in front. 35 metres out from goal boxer.
Pretty anxious at the moment, Wonthaggi. They've had the ball all the play in their front half, and we haven't been able to score.
Harley tapped it down to Hayes. Little quick kick. Gets in the hands of Anderson. Couldn't complete it. Westaway, his turn to clear the pressure. Gets out to Fixstar and goes back a little bit of courage and takes a nice, neat mark. He gets called to play on. He goes square out towards McGannon. He can mark and slow things up. Looks down the line.
Not much there.
No, he's got Thomas and Staley just looking at it. So he goes short. He went to go to Kim Drew, and in the end there'll be a free kick against Jack Blair as Kim Drew has it. Half-back flank now for Leongatha. Looks down the line. You can hear through our effects mic where the Leongatha guys want to go. The kick was smothered though. Hayes was there, squeezed the handball now to Blair, kicks it back. Hutchison's there one-on-one, works Harry out of it. Hutchison taps it forward. Here's McGuinness. Oh, he just shuffled it to his opponent. And that was Westaway, and they had to quickly wrap him up. And the free kick will go now Leongatha's way for over the shoulder.
You have too much urgency. I think that's what's really affecting them at the moment. Just making some errors that they shouldn't be making.
So the play of the ball is Westaway. Grandstand side he'll come. Gee, the wind got hold of that. Pitching wedge light falls short. Nicely taken by Heppel. 23 minutes just ticked over. Heppel with the ball. Margin 5 points. Home side in front. 1v2.
Oh!
Come grandstand side. Nice fly, nice take. Good take by Garnham. We've seen him up forward and now he's marked on the right half-back flank. Goes short. Goes looking for... Does he find a teammate? Drew, he's been good. And now Ganane takes a mark. Nice mark too. So from right half forward flank, they haven't threatened the forward 50 too many times, but how many times do you see sides that don't all of a sudden score a goal? You won't see it now because the boundary beats players from both sides out of play. So right half forward flank, boundary throwing to take place.
Gee, it must be cold. You know it's cold when the locals start to come into the commentary box with you as well.
Yeah.
On a Saturday
There's
afternoon.
a few of them too.
Gee whiz. I'm not gonna, I'll tell you what, One that always feels the cold is Big Jimmy Deere. He joins us up in the commentary box as well. And here's Leongatha's chance for a rare opportunity. Forrester got dumped after he kicked the footy. It's downfield. And it'll go in the way of Jack Hume. He will have the shot downfield. Inside 50s, Paul, this quarter.
That's Leongatha's second to Wonthaggi's 17.
Well, Wonthaggi only managed 1 goal for the quarter. And here's Leongatha's moment. Jack Hume, although boxer, it's in a really tight pocket.
The impossible pocket,
It's
isn't it?
the impossible pocket. But if he runs around,
Being the star forward that you were in your heyday, where do you put this?
over the goal umpire's head.
Good answer. And Hume kicks it across the face. Big fly from Jensen Garnham. Tapped it down. Can they get something here? Hutha tried to squeeze a handball out. Couldn't do so. Boundary line will beat Tallenbrill. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 24 and 3/4 minutes gone. The margin's 5 points in favour of Wonthaggi, kicking with the breeze in the third quarter.
All right, so for Leongatha in these dying minutes, an opportunity to hit the lead. The Ganane's done just that from nothing. He's made something. No. He's questioning the goal umpire. The goal umpire says
hit the post.
There's about a foot movement between the goalposts.
Yeah,
So he had a fair chance he was going to hit it.
The boundary throw-in actually helped there. It put it right in the dangerous spot.
It was 5 metres from the goals and landed in the goal square. Ganane had an attempt. He was absolutely confident he'd put that one through, but it wasn't to be. So
4-point lead to Wonthaggi at the 25.5-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has the power at 3:11.29, leading Leongatha 3:7 at 25.
well, the setup says he has to come grandstand side, and that's the way he does. It's unusual on today's, and that's the reason it is, because a nice mark being taken by Maskell, who's been good. But from the full back line, you've got 36 players forward of centre, with Leongatha attacking in the dying minutes. Ganane's the target again. Getting hands to it, but not taking it, was Jacob Thomas. And now the fight for the ball just metres from the boundary inside forward 50. 20 metres from Leongatha's goals. The umpire will assume control and ball this one up. So 20 metres from Leongatha's goals. Boundary line just metres away. They'll go searching for that with Wonthaggi. They can't find it though, and they will get themselves out of trouble. Good take.
McGuinness.
Under pressure. It was the meat in the sandwich, but took the kick. The race is on. I tell you what, you might back Hutchinson in with his pace, or will you? Player there, he gets a bounce, he's a chance, he gets rid of his opponent, takes the ball, and a push in the back is questionable to my eye.
I'm going to say this just for the record, that was crap.
Well done, Lindsay,
that
though.
was unreal.
Well done, Hayden Lindsay,
Jeez.
to stick with it as well.
Well, that one got away, but they're going to get a second chance here. Going forward is Williams. Kicks, no, can't find Hutchinson.
Over the
free
shoulder.
kick over the shoulder.
I think
Maybe he's had a little think about his last decision.
Was the free kick there? Was it in the back there box?
The in the back wasn't there. It was actually a contest where he pushed the player to the side to get him off balance.
Was over the shoulder there?
No.
So Jack Hutchinson,
That brain fade's come back.
he'll kick around his body.
This
That's
is
the one.
huge.
From
That's the
5
one.
metres out.
27
He's
minutes.
Side 4 points up. Oh, no. He's hit the wrong end of the footy, and it's gone across the face of goals
He would have
and out of
missed
play.
missed a second set of goals at that.
He's 30 metres around from goal now, a boundary throw-in.
Well, there's a handful of plays that you'll look back on and wonder whether they may have cost you. That will be one of them. Wonthaggi 3-11, Leongatha 3-7. Absolutely dominated this quarter, the home side. Forward 50 entries, and they kick to the top of the square. Play on's the call.
McGuinness.
Can't find any room. McGuinness with ball.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball is the call. Leongatha's free kick.
Yeah, Lindsay has it. That's Hayden Lindsay. Right, featured in that big play a couple of moments ago with Hutchison as Lindsay goes to the far side of the ground. Hume was the target, couldn't quite mark it. Ground level is Hutha, has to bend the back, can't do so. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. 28 minutes gone into the third quarter. It is all thanks to McDonald's Gippsland, celebrating 30 years of coffee, fit for any Aussie. Wouldn't mind one right about now. Ball back into the field of play. Willis tapped it down. Bowman was there. Couldn't get a clean one away. Kick around the body there was from Bates. High. Big fly. Hutchison couldn't quite complete it. Ground level chug. Gives a handball to Anderson. Snaps it. Goal! And he's hit the post again, Noah Anderson. That's 2 in the quarter. There's a Leongatha player down after that big contest as well. I think it is Hayden Lindsay holding the left shoulder. And we might just have a little bit of a stoppage in the play. 28, make it 29 minutes into the third quarter.
And we have a 5-point lead to Wonthaggi, 3-12-30. They've kicked 1 goal 5 this quarter to Leongatha, 3-7-25. That's the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. We're at the 29-minute mark of the third quarter. Both the first and second quarters both went beyond 31 minutes.
Who's that down, Scott?
It is Hayden Lindsay, and he's holding that... it looks out, actually. It's dislocated. The left shoulder has popped out for young Hayden Lindsay.
He's been in the wars too, Scott. He come off earlier with that corky.
Yep.
And now his afternoon's done, so he joins Borshman with another shoulder injury.
When you see that little bubble on that in the shoulder joint area, you know exactly what he's done. So, unfortunately for Hayden, he'll make his way off the ground late into this third quarter. It's a 5-point margin, as we said. The umpire's going to get us back underway, Poppy. And here's Cade Maskell.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to wait for the player to leave the ground, which could prove a bit of a problem. But
well, they did the same with Sparks, didn't they, when he got concussed?
So Maskell goes to the outer side of the ground. Nice leg. 80 metres from Wonthaggi's goals now. First player there. Who might it be? I reckon it's O'Connor. Fights hard for the ball. Huther comes in to lend a hand. 3 or 4 players from either side around the ball. Vanderpleit's one. Willis fell over his own feet and opened the door for Blair. Quick kick around the body. Back of the pack, drop mark, and now they've got a chance. Wonthaggi, maybe their best chance. He runs into an open goal, and finally, finally in the dying moments of this third quarter, the Power extend their lead to the greatest margin it's been throughout the afternoon.
Well, he's put the ball over the fence. I don't know whether that's probably a really good thing to do, but he wanted to kick the goal and made a real clear point of it too. He's put it over an Inverloch somewhere, but it was a great kick, great finish. Just what they really needed. Just one of those things where they've had all the play. They probably had 70% of the play inside their forward 50, and it was a reward for effort in the end.
And it is an 11-point lead to Wonthaggi now. We've gone past the 31-minute mark of this quarter. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has Wonthaggi 4-12-36, leading Leongatha 3-7-25.
Well, 11 points. You said, boys, somewhere between the 12 and 18-point margin. We're not quite there just yet.
Not enough.
This is the thing there too. I suppose we've
got a bit of time.
I'm being a bit critical, but this is where the thing is. You've got a little bit of momentum. He's drummed the ball over the fence. Now you just sort of lose that little bit of flow on right now because they've probably put the ball in the boot and gone.
No, it's coming back now.
But she's back. No, she's back.
What about three-quarter times rolling around pretty quickly? What's Wonthaggi going to do? Are they going to just park the bus and send 8-9 defenders?
Yeah, you would know.
You'd expect them to chuck a couple behind the ball.
You would think the coach might go back behind the ball, I reckon. He uses it really well. I know he's not overly tall, but you don't have to be tall to read the play. So we're interested to see what happens from here. But you know what Leongatha's like? They can respond pretty quick.
Well, 32 minutes have ticked over for this third quarter. Have they got one more left in them? Huther and Willis will do the duties. Huther got high, tapped it down, does some roving work. Handballs backwards now to, it was Bates who kicked it high. Gets towards half forward. Here's Blair trying to get a handball out. Can't quite do so. Gets now into the run of Williams, who goes to ground. Fixter wrapped him up in the tackle as well. And the umpire will ball it up.
It's a nice play there by Williams too. He had 3 to beat. He did the smart thing and just held the ball up, created that stoppage.
So obviously Murray and Bates getting confused, as we always do each and every time we call Wonthaggi. There's Murray again, put a tackle on Bowman. Jackson Williams was there, quick ball to boot, goes to half forward. Chug protected a drop zone. Anderson delivers to a hot spot out to the open space. We know that McGuinness got a bit of space, and so does Maskell. Just shoved him in the back. That should be a free kick to Maskell. It's going to come back though. Davey, can Anderson fly? Too deep, he's got it! Noah Anderson takes the contested mark. It was 2-on-1. And, well, he's hit the post twice this afternoon as Noah Anderson. Now he's got his chance. You might just get your wish, Boxer.
Yeah, I think when Maskell hit the ground
there
too, here we
gone.
go.
This is huge. Big moments are brought to you by the Ball Bowling Club this afternoon. It's Pot and Palmer night every Saturday night from 5:30. They're $20. This will be an important goal if Noah Anderson can put it through. They've kicked with the breeze. They've had 90% of the play in their forward 50 in the third quarter. Leongatha will kick with the breeze in the final quarter. 11's not going to do it, but 17 just might do it. As he comes in directly in front, 30 metres out, he's put it through. Noah Anderson slams it through the middle, and all of a sudden the margin is 17 points on the three-quarter time siren, and it could be enough. We have an absolute cracker coming up. We've got a quarter to go. The rain's going to stay away. The breeze is going to continue, and who will take out this big blockbuster in round 12 of the Inter-Energy Gippsland League? It sees at three-quarter time, Wonthaggi 5-12-42, leading Leongatha 3-7-25. It's Gippsland Live, and it's all for Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. Welcome back. It is three-quarter time. Both sides have had their huddle. They've broken away. They're getting back to their position, and Wonthaggi lead it by 17 points. It's 5-12-42. Wonthaggi, Leongatha 3-7-25. We'll get to some key stats in a moment. Boxer, what do? You're the coach of Wonthaggi. You lead by 17 points. You're kicking against a strong breeze. What do you do?
I think the coach Trent will just back them in. He'll just say, go for it. This is it. They roll the dice here. I mean, we're not playing for anything too critical. I understand the importance of the game for first v second, but at the same time, they haven't gone spare man at all. It's still one-on-one, so it's telling me
everywhere.
He's backing them in, and I reckon that he doesn't want to play stop-start. I reckon he wants to, like Wonthaggi just did in that last few minutes, they attacked the corridor, they attacked inside 50. Get the ball inside 50 quickly. Get the first goal here, she's on.
Poppy, I'd be starting someone at this opening bounce.
I cannot imagine if Leongatha dominate the forward 50 entries like Wonthaggi did in that third quarter as the wind, that they won't kick and multiple goals. And here we go. Willis, quick kick inside forward 50. If they get an early start, I tell you what, they'll be up and about. They're only 20 metres from goals, and Grenade gets an opportunity. Handballs
Blair.
out, couldn't find the man, and Jack Blair cut it off nicely. Found his teammate there in Murray, and Murray cleared the area. He can't. Can he find the boundary? He can't, and he doesn't need to, because he threaded the handball through to his teammate there in Mitch Hayes, who offloaded it quickly, and they're going to burst through defensive 50. They've done it nicely through Mobilia, and he clears with a 50-metre kick, but only as far as Maskell, who marks on the outer side of the ground.
Oh, he kicked it into the ground, though. His toe stubbed it into the grass. It allowed Harley to come in. Kick it in the middle of the ground. That's dangerous as well. Hits at the deck. Hume was there. Handball forward from Marriott to Vanderpleit. Kicks it high. Inside forward 50. Garner might fly. And, not quite completed. Heppel roved it. Heppel snapped. Heppel missed.
This is the thing, Scud. They've got to get the ball straight inside 50 and let their smalls do the work inside. So really put the pressure back on Wonthaggi's defence. Get that ball quickly inside 50, because there'll be some anxious defenders out there at the moment who really want to defend this score.
All right, Paul Carter still working through some key stats. The ball's gone 15 rows deep again.
How about I do some scores, Scud, in the Gippsland League, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. Traralgon 19-7, 1-2-1 to Mafra 7-5-47, and Morwell 3-5-23. They trail Murray 8-12-60.
All right, so the free kick will be taken by Josh Schultz shortly. 17 points the margin.
The main stat from that last quarter was inside 50s. Wonthaggi had 21-3. They had 14 clearances to 8 and 3 centre clearances to 0 there. The main stat winners till three-quarter time. Cade Maskell 23, Kim Drew 22 for Leongatha. For Wonthaggi, of the ones we're following, Aidan Lindsay 15, and we have Mitch Hayes, Isaac Chugg, Kyle Reid, Jared Blair and Tom Murray either on 10 or 11 at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they've had 21 forward 50 entries, Wonthaggi last quarter, I don't reckon any side's done that against Leongatha for years, if at all. They just didn't make them pay, did they? But they have got a lead of 17 points, but that should be closed down in a moment if Leongatha get the chance. They've got one right now, 40 metres from goals. They're standing to the pressure. The Wonthaggi side through Blair, feeds it off nicely towards Knowles, and Knowles gives ground, and here we go. Bates possibly feeds it over to Murray. Murray dances around one, needs to kick to space and can't.
Well done,
nice
Chugg.
spoil though it was from Chugg. They're running in numbers, and now they need to settle. They kick to space again, flying high and taking a nice mark. Playing was the call. And now, nicely done, Lindsay kicks to the top of the square. Need a winner here, no. Good mark. Play on was the call. I thought he marked it. Leongatha's Guy Dixon. Play on was the call, and they go towards the boundary, and it's probably the safest place to be just at the minute. Keep the ball in, and they run nicely. Drew gets the ball and then feeds off a handball. There's not much room to move, and now Bowman kicks with that left leg. 55-metre torpedo. Don't see many of them. That one was a beauty. And now they've got some room to move. Burns goes to Ganane. Ganane can take the ball and run almost all the way to goals. Touches the ball, opens the goal. They've got a goal. And that's 3.5 minutes into this final quarter. They go from 17 to 11 points. And we've got a game and a half on.
And I'm not sure the conditions will allow Wonthaggi to do it, but one thing they're really good at is holding that ball. But one thing that Leongatha are even deadlier at is hurting you back on the turnover, and they just showed how they could do that then with that quick play turnaround. So I know the conditions don't suit Wonthaggi's style of play, but one of these things now, if you want to defend this lead right now, is keep possession of the footy.
And that, as Poppy said, brings the margin back to 11 points in Wonthaggi's favour at the 4-minute mark of the final quarter. Wonthaggi 5-12-42 to Leongatha 4-7-31 on the Harvey Norman computed scoreboard.
Gee, Leongatha went coast to coast then. We haven't seen that all afternoon. Drew tried to run under this one from the stoppage. Bowman worked hard. So did Hayes, though, for the power. Won it and then kicked it towards half forward. Blair stretching. Takes a good mark. Jared Blair gets up. Pops around, has a look. No real option to go to at the moment. He chips it over the top to Hayes, who can mark on his own. Only 15 metres advancing. He's got Williams on towards the boundary. Doesn't want to go that way. Fair enough too. He looks back towards the target of Harley, although his kick was a scrubber. Got through the legs on that occasion of McGannon. They've got to work hard. They might get a free kick, the Power. They do. They're 60 metres out from goal. And the free kick will go in the way of Jared Blair, who can roll around and put a right foot boot into it. To the target of Harley, slides down at ground level, couldn't complete the mark. Williams was there, ducked his head, got it out the way. They closed quickly to the Parrots, and eventually the ball trickles over for a boundary throw-in. 5 minutes into the final quarter. It's still the Power by 11.
Let's see if these on-ballers can actually read the play now with the ball coming in for the throw-in. Everyone to the left.
So inside forward 50. Big Willis gets the tap, thumps it forward, can't find a teammate. In dispute, 40 metres from Wonthaggi's goals. No one really wanting to take possession through fear of being caught, but...
Now, Poppy, I've had a correction, so thanks to Anthony Pavey, who's out, Traralgon at the moment.
Yes.
It's 18-13-124 to Mafra 8-5-53.
Thanks, Paves. Good man. See you tomorrow. Willis, defensive 50, goes towards the outer side of the ground. Glenanes kicks it off, gathers all of 50 metres, and it's inside forward 50. First player there will be Staley. He's got some time, and he uses that time, feeds it off under pressure, and now inside forward 50, the ball's kept in that area, dropping the ball. Against Schultz will go the way of Brill, Taylor Brill.
Paul might have been sucked into that free kick as well. Ghanaian would put on a fair old how do you do, thank you. That was a free kick, and the umpire was forthcoming.
Yeah, okay, so Brill now can bring it back to within 5 points, but it will take one of his best from 45 and on the boundary. Off the boot, actually looked okay, but my eyesight's obviously failing me. It's out of play in the full.
Yeah, so's Jen's. But anyway, we know about that too, don't we?
So Knowles will bring it back for the Power. Looks to come directly down the middle of the ground, although the breeze will take it to the far side eventually. And a big spoil over the back was from Dixon. And we're going to boundary throw in right on the point of the 50 for the Parrot side. 6.5, make it 7 minutes gone into this final quarter.
Progressive scores in the North Gippsland Football League match of the day as well. It's Woodside's made a mega comeback here. 9-6-60 to TTU 10-12-72, so only 2 goals in it now.
So Willis and Hoother back here at the Wonthaggi Rec Reserve. Great to have your company across Gippsland and the Valley on TRFM this afternoon for this big round 12 clash. 1v2 in the front spot was Hoother. Gathered it out of the ruck and then handball to no one in particular. Marriott squeezed a handball to McGannon. He got it to Bowman. His right foot kick goes inside forward 50. Burns with a bit of strength. Held on to Blair. And the forward's given away the free kick against the defender. And Jack Blair has it.
So Jack Blair with Leongatha's goals just 20 metres behind him. Looks upfield, left and right. Directs where he might want his players to go and then kicks the ball. He hopes to his team's advantage, and off hands and out of play isn't a bad result. It's in that dead right half forward flank, given that the wind's so strong towards the outer side of the ground. So just repeating where we sit at the minute. 8 minutes gone, final quarter. Home side 5-12-42. Leongatha 4-7-31. But kicking with the aid of a decent sort of breeze and well and truly in this game. Ball thrown in, umpire takes control again, right half forward flank. Ball up, it'll take place.
Mid-Gibby match of the day, Newborough v Tarwin. Newborough 12-13-85 to Tarwin 8-4-52.
So they will remain unbeaten after their draw last week to Foster, you'd think. Newborough right here. Wonthaggi are wanting to take the title from the Parrots, and Marriott's fighting hard to make sure that doesn't happen. But Wonthaggi from the half-back flank clear the area, but coming in to stop it was Dixon. He's beaten. In fact, the ball goes out of play on the full. So Wonthaggi will take that free kick through McGuinness. Goes towards half forward flank. Hutchinson flies high. 1, 2, 3 grabs. Nicely done. Bit unorthodox, but a really good athlete. Runs fast, leaps high, uses the ball well, and just as you say that, it's a poor kick. It goes inside forward 50 and is cleared very easily and finds the boundary. Does Cade Maskell for Leongatha. As they pass over to Scud Cooling for this final quarter.
So Leongatha down to only a couple on the bench as well. They have had a couple of injuries this afternoon. Hayden Lindsay being one of those with a dislocated shoulder. And the other one, Matt Borshman, with also a shoulder. Was it Box? I can't remember if it was.
Borshman was, yes. So it was a left shoulder.
Two shoulders they've had, both left shoulders for the Parrots. So this ball now is on the far side of the ground in the wing area. We've got another stoppage, Box.
Sorry, Borshman was right.
Thank you.
The young fella was the left.
All right, that's okay. Ryan Sparks, of course, was concussed in the early parts of the game in the first quarter. Far side of the ground, no one can really get a clean kick away, except Heppel managed to get ball to boot. That may have come off the boot there of Thomas. No, it didn't. Off the thigh area. So we've got a boundary throw in, 10 minutes in. Final quarter of the margin, still 11 for Wonthaggi. They still hold on. It was 17 at three-quarter time, but Leongatha who got the opening one back at the 3-minute mark. It's out 60 metres out from their goal again. Heppel, little toe poker off across the ground. Got inside forward 50. Blair with a head over the football, ducked the shoulder, and the umpire said no opportunity.
He's going to call a free kick here. Yep.
Yeah. So he was over the shoulder.
No, so Blair's actually sucked him in. So the umpire's called for a push after the play itself.
All right, so Jared Blair has it, squares it out wide to brother Jack. Holds onto it in front of Jesse Burns. Goes out wide, Hutchison's there. Finds him, hits him on the chest. Half-back flank now for the Power. Slow and methodical approach. His kick again's a little bit of a scrubby one. Field kicking today hasn't been the great for the big fellas. And this time it trickles over for a boundary throw in. Right in front of the scoreboard. Well, the gum trees that are horizontal at the moment with this strong breeze in South Gippsland. I don't think, Boxer, you'll be going for a post-match dip in the ocean.
Not today, Scud.
Normally you do, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's what recovery's about. We've got a big game tomorrow. Are you with us?
No.
Must be the A-team on Sunday afternoon.
18 Sundays, yes it is.
Warrigal v Druin will be also down that particular part of the woods next week.
We've got a big one too.
Gary Ablett Jr. playing for Druin next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Against the Tigers. That'll be a big game. You'll extra long fan. You'll be with us, Boxer?
Yes, I will be.
Looked at the schedule. I don't think you are.
Okay. I'm not then.
Willis gets the kick.
That's all right.
It's only a matter of time before the Italian stallion, who consistently sends me Rocky videos throughout the course of the week, will fire up. Goes inboard. Nicely done. Tim Knowles. Out of side wing. Right, let's get this game up and going. Knowles goes towards the left half forward flank. Can he find a man? He can. Nice mark it was too. Jackson Williams. Left half forward flank. A goal might just suck the wind out of Leongatha at the moment.
It's been a bit flat, hasn't it, the last sort of 5 minutes?
Oh, some of the urgency's gone out of it. Hutchinson flies high, no falls to the ground. Quick kick forward. Eludes 3 or 4 and actually gathers around about 60 metres and threatens the right half forward flank for Leongatha. But at this stage, they've been equal to the challenge for the last 5 or 10 minutes. Nicely done by Schultz. His kick goes short to Hayes. That's Mitch. And in front of the scoreboard, which reads an 11-point margin. If you've just tuned into the home side, Wonthaggi second, taking on Leongatha top. Marriott takes the mark. So from right half-back flank, Marriott will send the Parrots forward.
Well, they want to find a spark to the Parrots. Can they find one on this forward run?
Wow.
Not on this occasion. Ball's gone a good 50 metres, 60 metres, but that's taken it out of bounds on the full. So
has ever got his teammates calling him and saying to him next time you need to bring it back into the middle of the ground?
So Schultz has it. He plays on, tries to run around Heppel, and that right foot kick, that's going to go out of bounds on the full as well, is it? Yes, it is.
You're not going to win this playing pretty footy.
No.
It has to be ugly, and you know what, if it's Leongatha, you just go, in this sort of
win. You've got to gain some yards. Yeah. What you got to do.
So Lockie Wright has it on the far side of the ground. Left footer, drives it inside forward 50, all of 60. That cleared everyone. And taking the uncontested mark, the easiest marks was Jacob Thomas. He's been a good inclusion this afternoon. Of course,
It's a bit Staley, isn't it?
It is Staley, sorry. My apologies. He's good as well. I don't want to upset the Wonthaggi locals who are in the commentary box with us. They can't handle the cold either.
Well, I could go get us some soup.
What's that, Boxer? You want to go?
Tell them to go get us some soup.
Boxer wants some soup.
So Harley, half-back flank, along the line. I tell you what, this is sort of getting ridiculous now, isn't it, really?
Another out of bounds on the full.
I mean, once or twice you can understand. This, I'm not sure we don't keep out of playing the full stats, but at least 20 times today it's been out of playing the full.
This is better. They've tried to switch it, and they're going to continue with it. Dixon comes to Hume. Hume can go to Westaway. He decides to go longer. It sits in the air for Turton. Closing quickly. Was Bates couldn't get a handle on it. Turton got a little bit hurt. Took on one tackler. Handballs backward to Dixon and went through his legs. This is the chance. Dixon goes to ground. He's dragged it in. This could be holding the footy. He stops. And you can tell by the support, it's holding the footy. Chug will play on. Kick out wide towards Williams. Does it sit for him? It does now. He's a right footer. Snaps around the body. Hutchison will fly. Can't quite mark. Ground level it goes. Handballs to the top of the square. Dixon falls over again. This time, though, a handball to Hume. Relieving kick out of the defensive 50s. A barrel. And going to mark that is Fergus O'Connor. He can go inboard to Chug. Decides to go to the shallow pocket. The target was Murray. He trips over in the slush right in front of their social rooms. Here's Anderson. Tried the underground handball. Didn't quite work. Has to fight again. And on the top of the 50, we have a stoppage.
Great work then too by Noah Anderson. Just to put that pressure on. Keep that ball inside his forward 50.
If Wonthaggi do score, one thing will be sure, this room will erupt. But Kim Drew from Leongatha won that clearance. Got it down towards the wing area. And Reid comes off a hand and it goes over for a boundary throw in. 16 minutes into the final quarter. It's an 11-point margin. The Power are holding on.
So ball to be thrown back in. Willis will do the ruck work for Leongatha. It goes a beautiful throw in it was. He was up against Harley. Ground level Blair, who's been good all day. Taken to the ground, ball and all. Good player stand up and the pressure's on, and he's one of those, is Blair. As this time Willis up against Toother. Good tap, nicely done, through. O'Connor will stop this one. And of course, high. Of course it was Drew and not through.
Yeah, but Drew went through. That's what you meant, wasn't it?
O'Connor takes the ball. I think I've called him all sorts of things today as well. So from the half-back flank, O'Connor along the line. He goes from half-back to half-forward. A few players went up early. Who they stuck the boot in? Risky. Hutchinson took the player without the ball. And the umpire, not officiating, paid the free kick. And it will go the way of Jackson Harry. Finds his teammate there in Maskell's, been one of the better players today. Centre half forward, nicely done. Good mark again by Fergus O'Connor. Again, they're sort of forced to blaze away, aren't they? Searching for distance, but not finding.
That's a good one.
Teammates in the same colour, so.
Here's Jacob Thomas. He's been a good inclusion into the Wonthaggi side this week.
So Jacob Thomas from half back to half forward. They've got the sit here, punch from behind, gathers metres, valuable. First player there is Murray, and he get himself through that pack of plays. He can't. The umpire will ball this one up. So just short of right half forward flank. Wonthaggi kicking to the right of Radio and leading by 11 points.
So Willis again tapped it over the back. Marriott was there, wrapped up in a Hayes tackle, and we'll do it again. Even numbers still, Boxer. Wonthaggi got one back. Have they now?
They have pushed the number back. It looks like Jack Blair's been freed up.
All right, going to ground was Bates, got squashed by Forrester. Lindsay did well with the handball towards Chug, dances around,
nice.
Open handball to Hayes, half forward flank, Hayes delivery to Hutchison! On the lead, Hutchison, crowd says take your 30, he'll go back, kicking into the breeze. He got the distance, Boxer?
Yeah, no.
Better have a short option here though.
Blair pushes, doesn't go to him.
I do agree with the supporters. Just milk the clock as much as you can now. We've played 18 minutes.
Make it 19 now, Box. Hutchison, the Power lead by 11 from 49, runs around, starts it right, it's not going to get the distance, although front spot Harley. Chug! Oh, kick was smothered by Marriott. Beautifully done. It's at the top of the square. And we've got a stoppage. A goal-saving smother by Marriott. Chug is dangerous in these positions. Keep an eye on him. We're going to ball up with Harley and Willis. Harley grabs it out of the ruck. Left foot snap. Top of the square. McGuinness comes through, wrapped up in a Dixon tackle. We're going to have another stoppage, this time 2 metres out, Poppy.
Whew. So, Leongatha under all sorts of pressure. They've only had this a handful of times in this season. The goalposts in the wind are bending. Nice stun kick around the body.
Murray.
Unfortunately for Murray, just couldn't connect as well as he would have liked. Another minor score makes it 2 goals even, Paul Carter.
It does. It's 5-13-43, Wonthaggi. Leongatha 4-7-31. Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard. Almost 20 minutes played into the final quarter.
Maskell's kick goes long towards the wing area. Attacking it at pace was Heppel over the top to Marriott. Left it behind. Gave a handball out. Blair comes the other direction. Burns wraps him up over the shoulder. And Jack Blair got a lucky one, I think.
Needs to slow it down a little bit now too. Just freeze.
He's got Knowles and Schultz if he wants, Box.
Yep, just pick it through now. Just pick it through. He's good at this too.
Well, he decides to kick down the line. The big target might be Staley. Can't mark. Out the back it goes. Chugger's there. Quickly gets ball to boot. 1-on-1. Hutchison and Harry. Stays in. Harry couldn't quite mark. Over it goes for a boundary throw in. 30 metres out now from Wonthaggi's goal. Inside 50s this quarter, Paul.
They're 7 apiece, but Wonthaggi have had 5 of the last 6.
Yep, certainly put the foot down and making the play into the breeze at the moment. 20 and a half minutes gone. Final quarter for Harvey Norman Computers. Harley takes the ruck duties again. Takes it out of the ruck. Handball's near Mobilia's toes. Bowman wraps him up. We'll have another stoppage. Boxer, who won?
We don't know yet.
watching one of the races at Caulfield. Thanks very much for your special comments.
No,
Thanks to Carpet Country.
Much appreciated.
Nice result.
As well.
8,500 quadrilla. Quaddy. Well done, Nick.
What on, Boxer? You get it.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
job.
Yeah,
Just got the quaddy. Yeah, at Belmont. You're kidding yourself, aren't you?
At Belmont?
We've gone 21 minutes down here in South Gippsland at Wonthaggi, and they lead it by 12 points at the moment. Kick goes towards Garnham at the wing area. Wrapping him up was Jordan Staley, and we have a stoppage. True centre wing, right in the balance right now. Big moments for the Moore Bowling Club this afternoon. Pot and Palmer nights tonight. I'll pop in and get one tonight at 5:30. They're only $20. You can catch all the AFL games live in the club lounge as well.
Go forward, they do. Centre half forward, nicely done. Maskell challenging Drew for one of the better players in the ground. Goes in that player's direction.
Oh, Blair.
Blair flew high, landed awkwardly. Importantly, the ball falls out the back to Marriott, who goes short, finds a teammate there in Garnham. A goal kicker of note. He's capable, you know, but he goes short to Grenade. Wasn't the right option. Taken nicely it was by Lindsay. Cut off, feeds it off, and a quick kick
Blair
is off the side of the boot. And Marriott will get the chance. Or will he? Can't pick up the player. He's waiting for it. Looks like it might be Garnham again. So 2 goals the difference. Maybe 7 minutes to go, so plenty of time. Garnham from outside 50. Kicks to the top of the square. They need a winner here. And they haven't got one. Nice mark. Taken by Hoother.
Probably hang around this back line for him now.
Yep.
Just as the game sort of...
Probably just need to lower the eyes, the Parrot, and find an option inside forward 50. That's where they're capable.
Harley's on.
And Harley is on. Kicks to the advantage of Hutchinson, who takes the ball out in front. And he's in no rush to move this ball on quickly.
It's a special talent to do that. On full stretch, game's just about in the balance, and he's marked it with Harry Rod on his tail as well.
Yeah.
Great mark there by Hutchinson.
Gives ground, keeps possession. Cole Reid is the player. Left half-back flank. 23 minutes gone. Wonthaggi 5-13. Leongatha 4-7. You hear the wind in the background. That's it. The advantage to Leongatha in this last quarter, but they just haven't been able to capitalise, as Wonthaggi couldn't for a lot of that last quarter. 21 forward 50 entries to 3 in that third quarter. Scoreboard says 18 scoring shots to 11. Leongatha in some ways lucky to be in this game as Wonthaggi go forward again. Side forward 50. They sit and they won't. And here we go. Hutchinson backs himself in. Can he get rid of his opponent? He can. Handball over the top. That might have been the option. Did not need it. Tom Davey gets goal number 6, and that could be the cherry they need.
Yeah, Poppy, good, great call then, buddy. And I think for Tom Davey, thank goodness it went through, because I tell you now, he had McGinns in the goal square on his own. So it was one of those things where he probably either didn't see him or he just knew that he had enough confidence to kick that goal. But what a great goal. That's worth 2 or 3 now. Just about shut the gate here.
And definitely a match high margin here. 18 points at the 24-minute mark of the final quarter. Wonthaggi 6:13.49, leading Leongatha 4:7.31. Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
Okay, one player back for the Power. As the loose one is Hutha in the middle of the ground. That could be the match winner. Hutha kicks it off the ground. They go forward again to the Power. Maskell's there. As Leongatha got one last surge. Harry has it on the wing. Handballs over the top. Inboard. He missed his 2 teammates. Coming the other direction there was Knowles. Quickly picking it up though was Lindsay, and he kicks it out wide to the wing area. But Jackson Harry for the Parrots gathers it. Spears a pass in towards Talonbrill. Right foot kick, inside forward 50. Out the back, Blair at his toes. Play on, said the umpire. So he stands up. He handballs back out towards his top of his 50. Attacking hard there, nicely done, was Bates. He goes back and tries to find it at ground level again. And the umpire will wait. He's going to call holding the ball against Leongatha. And Bates will have the free kick. Jack Ganane gets up and said, I can't believe it. He gives the ball back to Bates.
So Leongatha have kicked 4 goals in 3.5 quarters of footy, maybe 3 3/4, and they need to find 4 goals in the space of 4 minutes. No, I don't think so.
Hutha.
Nice mark by Hutha, out of sight of the ground. They've got the knife in, but Blair would like to give it a little twist, just to send a message for later in the year that they're capable of not only leading, but extending that lead when the pressure's on, and the pressure is well and truly on as they go forward. Good mark taken in front of the pack.
Anderson, yep.
He's had a good second half.
Yeah, he has too.
A very good second half.
Found the goals. Nice mark.
Marks this quarter 19-8, and there's about 8 big contested marks to Wonthaggi.
Tim Knowles now inside, or threatens a forward 50. Ground level. Leongatha have got
free kick.
No, he's paid the mark. He's paid the mark, Scud.
I reckon he paid for holding.
Over the shoulder.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I think he dragged him down, they thought, which wasn't there either.
So is it Staley?
Yep.
So
no, it's McGuinness.
McGuinness from outside 50. He'll kick from 55. Staley might be one of his options. I see in the goal square, outnumbered though 3-1. Goes short. Finds a teammate. It was taken
Blair
reasonably hard and firm, but within the rules. Jared Blair just has a
Here comes
little
the experience
word
now.
through as Jack Blair has the kick. Jared Blair wasn't happy. His bro was taken heavily.
I'm not sure he's making the distance here either.
No, not a chance in.
It's professional though at the 27-minute mark.
Big Troy Harley will mark this on the top of the square.
So he's going to kick to the top. No, he plays on quickly inside forward 50. Threads it low. Out the back of the pack. Harley nearly took it. Leongatha burst through defensive 50. But guess what?
Coming back.
It's all the power. And 1, 2, 3. Hey, on was the call. Tom Murray nearly... Well, he turned himself into a contortionist to give himself that third attempt and couldn't bring the ball in.
Not good enough for Mitchell Stark, not good enough for him.
So ball up 55 metres out. Hutha got high, tapped it to open space. Marriott was there. Handballs backwards to Fixter. Kick around the body there. Goes into the middle of the ground. It bounces and bounces. Hugh might run onto this one. He slaps it forward. Power have got some numbers back there though. Bates will be the first one to get back, you'd think. Coming quickly was Hume after tapping that forward. Now Blair comes to help. Good work by Bates. Squeezed a handle towards the boundary line. He'll happy to see. Got ping for holding the ball. Well, that was quick. And Jack Ganane said, this time it goes for me. So Jack Ganane's too far out, you'd think. Tough pocket from there. 50 metres out for the Parrots. They trail at the moment by 18 points at the 28-minute mark. Lights are on down here in South Gippsland. Big fly from Maskell. Out the back. Dixon said, I'll take the mark. He didn't get paid. He has a quick shot on goal. And it's through for a minor score. Harvey Norman computer scoreboard. Hot deals on Lenovo. Don't worry about that. The siren has sounded. And Wonthaggi are up and about. They have got over the top of Leongatha this afternoon. And, well, you can hear it. They don't like each other too much. It went 28 minutes, that final quarter. And the Wonthaggi side of in round 12 got over the top.
Is that meant to be a parrot?
I'm not sure what it is.
I don't know what
But
that
they're
is.
celebrating with a win. It is the Power at home, 6:13.49, over the top of the Parrots, 4:7.31.
They got it behind there at the end.
I think they did, yes. So it was at 4:8.32 at the end. So a 17-point margin in the end to Wonthaggi. They get the victors. We've got the post-game coming up after the break. It's Gippsland Live. All thanks to Harvey Norman, Electrical Gippsland.